Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Kane's Wrath 1 vs. 1 community tournament for July, or rather for July of 2015. I just realized I've got my text mixed up here. Hosted proudly by GameReplays.org. My name is Spartacus, and we are in for some excellent action here today. So a couple of things to note before we get started, as we're starting to do this at the beginning of every stream. All links referred to in the cast are available in the description of the video, so just click that Show More button beneath the video to follow along with our broadcast for today. Additionally, all music heard during this broadcast is courtesy of both Zircon and Little V Mills, so if you enjoy the music you hear today, please be sure to check out the respective websites which are linked in the description below. Furthermore, if you find yourself bored during the downtime we'll inevitably have in between games or series, feel free to click on the I button in the top right corner of your video screen for direct links to past events and single game commentaries on my channel. So, with that out of the way, let's discuss the specifics of today's community tournament. It is going to be a 1v1 single elimination tournament, and with that said, all games are going to be played as best of 3 series up until the semifinals, which will be best of 5, and then concluding with the third place and finals matches as best of 7 series. Now, on to where the community part comes in. So you may be thinking, hey, what is this community tournament, quote-unquote community tournament? Well, that's a great question. The answer to that is we posted a link asking for some suggestions as far as what you guys would like to see as far as starting maps go for tournaments. And essentially that poll has been turned into this event. So the starting maps that you guys are seeing for this event are based on feedback that we've received from the community directly on GameReplays.org. And that's gonna heavily influence the way that we've selected the starting maps. And I think you'll notice it once we start getting through them, because the last two for the finals and semifinals are actually pretty awesome. So with that said, the round of 32, if we do have it, I'm not quite sure how many players we've got just yet, but the round of 32 is going to kick off on Twisted Rift. Round of 16 will be on Smashed Dust Bowl. Round of 8 will be Forest Arena. Round of 4, which is going to be the semifinals, that's going to be on Volcano Struggle, a series that I'm really looking forward to. Round of 2, which is going to be the finals and third place matches, that's going to be kicking off on Pipeline Nightmares. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the brackets. I believe they already are posted, so just go ahead and hop right in. I'm going to see if I can jump into a game first here before these guys launch without me. I had this issue yesterday where I was casting the Tiberium Wars 1v1 tournament, and they got started while I was in the middle of my bracket rundown, so I was like, trying to scramble to find a game, but managed to get into one nonetheless. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like everybody's jumping ready to go just yet, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this bracket up, and we're going to do it real quick. Let's see here. I think I've got it. So, let's do this. Here we go. So here's the bracket. So we do actually have just a round of 16 here for today. So not a ton of players showing up, but that's okay. It is kind of a slow month for us, generally speaking, as far as statistics go. So let's take a look at it. Round of 16, that's going to be a best of 3 series. We see Phoenix getting a free win out of the round of 16. Panda, which is going to be Aggressive Panda, facing off against Granola 17. Down below that, we have Lion Cub getting a free win out of the round of 16. RealPlayers facing off against Doc. Down below that, we have Booty Call, which is going to be Wookibert. We'll be calling him Wookibert just because I have not gotten used to calling him Booty Call yet. And I think he's actually in-game as Wookibert as well. So, Wookibert going to be getting a free win out of the round of 16. Gorilla going to be facing off against Unknown 999. And then Death Sentence also getting a free win out of the round of 16. And then down below that, our final 2 players, Encore facing off against Angel of Death. So not a ton of players out there, and a lot of big names kind of missing from this tournament. So actually, I'm kind of excited. This is wide open. I'm not sure who's going to end up coming out on top. And honestly, it opens it up to a lot of mid players that could potentially secure themselves a tournament victory here. So I'm really looking forward to this event today. It's going to be fun. And with that said, let's jump into some matches, and we'll be jumping into the game straight away the second they become available, so be sure to stay tuned. Hello everyone and welcome to game number 1 of this best of 3 round of 16 series, and that brings us to the map Smash Dust Bowl. And spawning in the top of the map as the pink Traveler 59, we have Unknown. And then sliding on down to the bottom of the map, spawning as the purple Black Hand, we have AMindInRuins. So let's jump into this game. It is a best of 3 series, so we'll go ahead and throw the scores up on the screen. This is game number 1, and I'm not sure how the audio levels are. It sounds like my music's a little low, but that's okay. I prefer it to be that way anyways. But anyways, it's going to be a best of 3 series. Black Hand versus Traveler 59. Here we go. Going to be starting off with the two arguably strongest factions in the game. And it's looking like it's going to be some dissents coming out from Unknown early on here, though he does need to contend with a Black Hand squad that's, or rather a Confessor Cabal squad, which is actually getting pretty close to that Assimilator. Okay, so he's going to manage to juke out and around the little barrier here, but boy, that was actually a really close call for him. Let's take a look and see what's going on the other side of things. Actually, Unknown's gone very aggressive here. He actually sent out 2 Assimilators. He's going to pull that one off the lines, and he's actually going to chill out in the market. It looks like he's actually going to be kind of hanging out, maybe doing some shopping while he's there. Not a bad idea. Early in the morning here, you want to get your shopping done. And did that Assimilator get taken out? Nope, the Assimilator is still alive, but Unknown doesn't want to commit his Disintegrators into killing off that Confessor Cabal squad, so he's having to deal with this Assimilator in kind of an unconventional way. It looks like he's just going to kind of camp out here by the Tiberium field. Doesn't look like AMindInRuins really knows where it is. The Disintegrator's coming around the right-hand side of the map, though. AMindInRuins is aware of the fact that there are Disintegrators out on the map. He did see them with the Confessor Cabal squad, so he's not going to be getting jumped by that. Got 3 power plants here. I don't know about this build here coming out from AMindInRuins. I don't know. Does he have a flame tank out on the map? Did I miss something here? I think so. The Assimilator's still alive. He's actually going to go ahead and run down south. May try to go for a walking engineer capture. Meanwhile, AMindInRuins, he's going to grab himself a Tiberium Spike. I thought for a second, no, he actually put a mine on that, or rather a booby trap. So looking to actually get a booby trap detonation on the engineer when it finally does come in, but that Assimilator is actually cruising around down the bottom left corner of the map. Disintegrator's now running in here for Unknown. It looks like this has gone unscouted. Forces a sell-off of one of the power plants here. Forces a sell-off of a refinery as well. So these Disintegrators are already paying dividends, putting AMindInRuins far behind in terms of economy here. And more of the Disintegrators going down. So not losing too many Harvesters here. Actually, I don't know if he lost any. I think, yeah, we've got 2 Harvesters out on the map here. No Harvesters at the Blue Tiberium just yet. Take a look and see what else we have going on here for Unknown. So Unknown, he's only got 2 Harvesters, 1 refinery at the moment, so he's kind of equaled up the economy here between himself and AMindInRuins. Assimilator, I believe, is still alive. There's that Assimilator. There he is. Okay, so here comes the Assimilator. He's going in for the MCV capture. Is he going to be able to get in there and get it? This is where it comes down. Is he going to get the MCV capture? It's looking like he's going to. MCV, is it going to get captured? AMindInRuins loses his MCV to a cheeky Assimilator capture, and now there is a Saboteur. It's going to get gunned down here by the sold-off power plant from AMindInRuins, but Unknown, as long as he can hold off these bikes, he is looking golden in this game. He's still got his drone platform. He's got base defenses. He's got the economy advantage due to the fact that he's got more Harvesters. He is looking to be all but certain to be taking away a victory here. Portal comes down. Disintegrator's going to be coming out. That will more than likely signal the end of these bikes. And honestly, I don't know what AMindInRuins is going to be able to do here. He's got to produce an MCV, but he also needs to produce Harvesters in order to keep up with Unknown. So he's in a tough situation here. I don't quite know what he's going to be able to do. Bikes coming through. Actually, should be able to get themselves a Harvester kill. No, actually, they've overcommitted to going further up into that left-hand corner. So not the greatest micro in the world here that we're seeing early this morning, but that's okay. These guys are probably feeling a little rusty. And what else do we have coming out here? Just tons of Confessor Cabal squads, which are actually going to be focusing down the Warp Sphere, surprisingly enough. They're actually doing a decent amount of damage, but it's going to take them a long time to actually focus that down. That Seeker tank actually going surprisingly low. It will finally go down, but the Harvesters are still alive here. They're actually getting focused down. Is Unknown going to be forced out of this game? I don't quite know what he's been building. I mean, he sells off his portal. The Warp Sphere is now under fire after these Harvesters go down. Unknown maybe squandering an opportunity here. I mean, there is a buzzer out on the field that's managed to clean up all of the Confessor Cabal squads, but The bikes are now the major damage threat. Sells up the warp sphere. I don't know about the decision making here coming out from Unknown. I mean, this is really kind of a squandered opportunity here. I mean, he had a lot of eco coming in from the sold off MCV of AMindInRuins, and now there's just a ton of bike buggy in his base. I don't know how he's allowed AMindInRuins to get ahead so far in economy. I mean, yes, he's got double spike economy versus the zero spike economy, but MCV gets sold off here, and this could be it here for Unknown. I think, honestly, a squandered opportunity. A little bit disappointing to see this happening, but it does happen all the same. And Disintegrators coming out, but there are immediately getting gunned down. So Unknown throwing away that game. AMindInRuins going to be picking up game number 1. So that was definitely not the way that game, or rather the way I was expecting that game to go. 5 minutes and 21 seconds, obviously a very quick game, but I thought Unknown had it in the bag, to be honest. But as you can see, maybe not producing enough harvesters here. We can see on AMindInRuins, despite losing a refinery as well as his MCV, he was actually considerably behind in terms of economy, or rather considerably ahead of that of Unknown. So unusual that would happen, but okay. So Unknown going down 0-1 so far in this series. We'll have to see if maybe he can take things back here in game number 2. Hello everybody and welcome to game number 2 of this best of 3 round of 16 series, and that brings us to the map tournament, Badlands. And spawning on the far left side as the pink Mark of Kane, we have Unknown. And then sliding on to the right hand side as the yellow Black Hand, we have AMindInRuins. So AMindInRuins is up 1-0 here in this game, and AMindInRuins, by the way, he is Gorilla, in case you know him by that name. I know I call him generally by AMindInRuins just because I think it comes off the tongue a little bit easier. But all the same, it's going to be Mark of Kane versus Black Hand here, and I can't remember if Unknown actually selected Mark of Kane or if he went for random. I think it was just a random pick here from Unknown. This is going to be close. That Confessor Cabal squad could potentially get into range. He actually gets some shots on that Engineer. Does not manage to take it out, so Unknown will grab himself a Tiberium Spike here. That's a pretty good pickup. Obviously, he was denied his Tiberium Spike in the last game and was made to pay for that. And what do we have coming out from AMindInRuins? So just some early scouting engagements. Obviously, AMindInRuins with a significant advantage due to the fact that he can just draft full health Confessor Cabal squads versus the single member of the Mark of Kane squads. So Unknown going to be losing out early on in those scout engagements, and he will be forced to build a Raider Buggy, which is actually already out on the map. So going very, very quick for that Raider Buggy. Doesn't want to get jumped by a Flame Rush. This map is pretty wide open, so rush options are definitely on the table. We'll have to see if you can manage to get in here and get some vision. Yeah, that Raider Buggy, almost a guaranteed scout, as there's very few things that can actually stop it. I mean, you could potentially open up with some bikes and shut that down, but honestly, that Raider Buggy will probably still make it into your base, even if you do produce those bikes. All the same, he's going to be seeing that it's going to be a double refinery opener here from AMindInRuins, so no rush coming out from him this time around. And actually, Unknown, surprisingly enough, dumping both of his refineries pretty much on top of each other. I'm not sure about that. I mean, he could get early one-clicked here by AMindInRuins, but maybe just expecting that won't be the case. I guess it would be kind of unusual to get early one-clicks, but all the same, we are going to be seeing that Raider Buggy trying to clean up these Confessor Cabal squads around the map. That's exactly what you need to be doing, as you don't want to just allow that free scouting all around the map. And obviously it helps to pay for that Raider Buggy. But all the same, still just straight up eco here from AMindInRuins. He's actually not packed up his MCV just yet, so it could be a second War Factory or even an Operations Center coming out from him. Not quite sure what it's going to be. It's taking quite a long time to build. Is that going to be a third refinery? you doing? Yeah, I'm not quite sure. To be honest, that's taking a very long time to build. It could be an operations center. I'd think that they would build a little bit quicker than that, though. It is going to be a second war factory. Okay, that kind of explains the build time. So, double war factory, probably going to be bike buggy here coming out from AMindInRuins, and then we may see a transition into double war factory scorpion tank production a little bit later on. There we go. A couple of bikes being pumped out on the front lines now. Unknown, he does not know that this is coming, but he's actually gone ahead and produced himself a second war factory as well. So, I don't know if AMindInRuins actually saw him producing that war factory, but all the same, it is going to be double war factory bike buggy versus double war factory bike buggy. Not terribly shocking in a Nod faction matchup here. Obviously, that bike buggy is very, very powerful, and it's going to come down to who can micro properly and allow those buggies to really tank the damage. AMindInRuins actually doesn't look like he has any buggies here. He's actually going to get in, get some free shots on this harvester. May actually get himself a harvester kill here for free. And yeah, he will be getting one harvester, and I think that was almost full of Tiberium as well, so that's a pretty significant loss there for Unknown. Now the Raider buggy is going to be chasing them away. Only a couple of bikes here out from Unknown. They're going to get thrown into the meat grinder as well. And Unknown, he's just not able to keep up with the production here from AMindInRuins. As we can see, he's actually got a decent number of bikes and buggies here on the front lines. Need to be using the EMP from this Awaken squad, get some EMPs on those buggies, or rather the bikes, lock them down and then just focus them down really quickly. But that Awaken squad's still not firing. I don't know if it's already used its EMP or what the deal is, but bike buggy just continually streaming across the map here for AMindInRuins. Take a look in the base of AMindInRuins. So just a couple of Raider buggies there. I'm not sure what those Raider buggies are doing in his base. I mean, yes, they are getting some scouting information, but I mean, if he can't defend his own base, that's not necessarily information that's worthwhile. But all the same, Unknown going to be continuing to engage into this bike buggy. It's getting pretty messy here. The colors are a little bit difficult to tell who is coming out on top, but I'm going to go ahead and give the edge to AMindInRuins. Though Unknown is doing a good job of keeping his bikes on the back lines here. Shredder Turret drop going to be sold off. Only locks down one bike, but that bike will be getting focused down immediately. That's not too bad. In that situation, I'm not sure if it's better to focus down that bike or maybe the bikes that are still firing on your forces. But anyways, this harvester has actually been pulled off the line, needs to be put back to work. It looks like that will actually happen now, so maybe he was just reading my mind at that point in time. Let's take a look around the map and see if there's any harvesters that aren't doing anything. We have that one Raider buggy here, which looks like it was returning from some scouting, and he will get focused down. Veteran status going onto that bike, so AMindInRuins definitely out-trading Unknown here in the early game as far as the bike buggy war goes. We'll have to see if he can potentially tip the scales here, as AMindInRuins definitely has full map control right now. He's got complete control to run himself all around the map. Could actually send out an engineer and try to steal away the Tiberium spike of Unknown. He may actually try to de-garrison this garrisonable structure here. Yeah, it's actually looking like it's going to be double War Factory Scorpion tanks coming out from AMindInRuins now. Again, not terribly shocking. That transition usually occurs about this time. It looks like AMindInRuins is going to be the one dictating the pace of this game. It looks like it's still bike buggy coming out from Unknown, so I don't think that he's necessarily seen the Scorpion tanks. He hasn't exactly responded to it just yet. Only one refinery down on his expansion here. Unknown considerably behind in terms of economy. He's producing a lot of Raider buggies and bikes, but honestly, he needs to be producing some harvesters here in order to catch up to AMindInRuins. He's going to be behind in terms of unit count, but honestly, he just needs to kind of cut his losses here and start getting out some harvesters and just defend. He needs to give up on the map control war here, as he's not going to be able to beat a Black Hand player so far in this map control. We do see an engineer out. It does not look like it's been rallied just yet. It is rallied now. That Hand of Nod is going to be kept around, maybe sold off here in the near future, but AMindInRuins, the majority of his Scorpion tanks are just kind of camping out this middle field, realizing that that's probably the next point of contest. As actually the couple of bikes here from Unknown rolling into the expansion of AMindInRuins should be able to get themselves a couple of harvesters here. One harvester goes down straight away, second harvester down to half HP. That one will be going down as well. There's no possible way to really save that. Even with some great building blocking, that one will be going down. Will a third harvester be going down? It looks like they're focused elsewhere, but let's take a look and see what's going on. Scorpion tanks actually rolling into the base of Unknown, forces a sell-up of one of the refineries here, and the bike buggy just simply getting pounded away here by these Scorpion tanks. Though the Scorpion tanks from AMindInRuins not actually really focus firing here. It looks like they're just on a move order. Let's take a look back in the base of AMindInRuins. It looks like he's actually managed to lose all of his harvesters on his expansion. That is massive. And it looks like actually there was a whiff of the EMP from an Awakened squad here. AMindInRuins, he's winning the battle on the left-hand side of the map, but he's lost all of his harvesters on his expansion, and that's pretty devastating. But honestly, if he can just continue to pressure Unknown here in his own base, he should be able to out-trade him. Dozer Blades are done for him as well, so Even if Unknown transitions into Scorpion tanks, he's going to be lost here. Great EMP coming out from that Awakened squad. That was from the sold off Hand of Nod. Going to be locking down 4 of those Scorpion tanks straight away, but honestly, it's just a band-aid on a bullet hole as we see the Scorpion tanks just pressing forward and crushing these Harvesters. Raider Buggy is going to be exposing the hidden Harvesters here, or rather the stealth Harvesters. Looks like a couple of bikes managed to survive and head up into the north and going to be attacking those Harvesters up there. Still no harvesting here on the expansion for AMindInRuins, but he does still have a decent amount of economy on his main field. Meanwhile, what do we have coming out from Unknown? So Unknown, he's done a lot of economy damage, but his entire main base has been completely ravaged. I mean, he's still got an MCV, he does still have a War Factory, but that's a lot of Scorpion tanks, and honestly, they should just focus down the MCV right now. Might as well take that out. He knows that he's limited the production of Unknown pretty significantly. Instead, he's going to trade with the Scorpion tanks. Maybe not the worst thing in the world here. Actually, that Harvester is going to be coming forward. Not quite sure where that's going. Maybe just trying to draw a little bit of fire. Great EMP coming out from that Awakened squad. Going to be locking down 4 or 5 Scorpion tanks as well as a Raider Buggy. Not too bad whatsoever, but honestly, we've got a decent number of Raider Buggies and Scorpion tanks here on the front lines. Dozer Blade's done as well. The focus fire is now on the MCV, and this could be Unknown getting defeated here. Another power plant being sold off. Going to be getting the lockdown of a couple of Scorpion tanks, but honestly, he needs it down over in this area here. That's where the majority of the Scorpion tanks are, but actually an EMP does fire off down in that location. Rocket Squad's going to be focusing down some of these Scorpion tanks, and actually they're now going to be run over here by the Scorpion tanks with the Dozer Blades. And Unknown, he's trying very, very hard to actually hold the line against this force here, but he is losing this battle overall. Meanwhile, it looks like the number of Harvesters have actually managed to make their way around the map, but the fire sale coming out from Unknown, and it looks like Unknown has been defeated. Gorilla, a.k.a. AMindInRuins, going to be moving on 2-0 in this tournament. So good effort there from Unknown. Nice to see Marked of Kane getting played. I don't know if he necessarily chose that, but excuse me, all the same, nice to see that getting played. Unfortunately, not able to work out for him. AMindInRuins coming through with 2 victories on that Black Hand, so he will be progressing on into the quarterfinals here in the near future. So congratulations to him. Unfortunately, Unknown going to be departing. We'll more than likely be seeing him in the chat, so be sure to give him my warm welcome. Maybe a little bit of trolling there, but all the same, we're going to be moving on here. This was a pretty good series, and with that said, we're going to be jumping into our next series as soon as it becomes available, so be sure to stick around. Hello everybody and welcome to game number 1 of this quarterfinal series, best of 3 series, and that brings us to Forest Arena. And spawning in the top of the map as the green GDI, we have Phoenix. And then sliding down to the bottom side of the map, I believe it's over here. They've kind of changed this map around. Here we go, as the pink GDI, we have Granola 17. So it is 0-0, game number 1. Like I said, it's going to be quarterfinals, so we are cruising straight through this tournament so far. Obviously, we had a smaller size tournament this time around, but that is okay. And we're seeing Phoenix versus Granola 17 here in the quarterfinals. It's going to be a best of 3. In Forest Arena, this is a wicked cool map, something I haven't actually seen in recent weeks. So I'm excited to see some games on it. Look at how thick that forest is. You can't even see those guys. This is forest warfare at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Look at that. These guys have their camo clothing on. Let's see, I thought for a second one of them was actually grabbing a foxhole there. But meanwhile, we do have scouts facing off here on the left-hand side. It looks like Phoenix has managed to win that engagement. And in the meantime, we have Granola 17 with 2 scouts here on the right-hand side, actually. That's kind of surprising. It looks like he actually did that in order to protect his engineer. So pretty typical to actually see that happening. Phoenix doesn't look like he wants to capture his Tiberium spike, at least not right now. As we actually do see that on the minimap, it goes over to his control now, but not terribly shocking. We're seeing just a standard eco opener here for both players. Pretty standard here for GDI. I mean, their early game options are pretty limited. Obviously, airfield rush is not the greatest thing in the world. Excuse me as I have to clear my throat there, but all the same, we're going to probably just see straight up eco play here into an expansion, and yeah, we can see that coming out from Granola 17 straight away. So both Phoenix and Granola 17 actually selecting to go GDI this time around, so maybe have something specific in mind for this particular map. I know Phoenix was the one to kind of lead the charge as far as picking GDI. I think Granola followed suit just because he didn't want to be put in a disadvantage if Phoenix had something tricky up his sleeve here. But again, still kind of a slow start here as we see these guys are just ecoing. Cheeky bunker capture here from Phoenix is actually going to get himself some free damage on the MCV. We'll force out a response here from Granola 17, as that's eventually going to take enough damage to be something that's worth fixing. Granola 17, on the other hand, he's actually damaging harvesters, and they're within range of the war factory. So in this situation, it may be better to just force fire on the refinery, get some actual damage that's going to force them to repair something over time that's going to actually cost them money. That's what you really should be doing in that situation. But anyways, it's just minor stuff, not too much to be worried about. 6 harvesters on this main field. One of these harvesters needs to be transitioned over to the expansion here for Granola 17. And actually, it looks like he's tired of taking damage from the... Oh, actually, this is a forward war factory. He looks like he's going to be going for some type of a cheeky war factory push here. Granola 17 going to be pushing hard towards Phoenix, but Phoenix, he's already got a refinery down and 2 harvesters on his expansion. He should be able to hold this no problem. Despite the fact that Granola 17 has managed to sneak himself a rifleman squad into the expansion here of Phoenix. And it looks like Phoenix has managed to de-garrison this squad that was just garrisoned up in his base. Pitbull out on the map as well for Phoenix, just going to be trying to get some scouting information. And the MCV comes all the way forward for Granola 17, so here we go. This is where the battle lines get drawn. And this is pretty scary, actually, for Granola 17. I think this is just a desperation move. Realizing that he's a little bit behind in terms of economy, but he drops a war factory here right next to the war factory of Phoenix. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's a second war factory for Phoenix, and only 1 war factory coming down here for Granola 17. It's getting focused down straight away here by the Predator tanks from Phoenix, and honestly, if he can keep taking out these war factories, even if he was getting traded against, it's still going to be beneficial because he's going to be able to outproduce here on the front lines. That war factory goes down straight away, so now there's no repairs coming out for Granola 17, so it's going to be up to him to trade really cost effectively here, which is going to be pretty much impossible to do, considering there are 2 war factories plus building blocks, and now there is a barracks here as well from Phoenix. So this is looking like it was maybe good in theory but bad in practice. As we see Granola 17, he's getting focused down here. Now he's caught between a rock and pretty much three hard places here, because he's got 3 production facilities that are just pumping out on the front lines. Watchtower comes down, is going to be trying to deal with the rocket squads. That should have come down a long time ago. But unfortunately, there's just very little funds here coming out from Granola 17. A second war factory comes down, but it looks like the first war factory is about to get focused down in the meantime. So been kind of messy here for Granola 17. He's trying desperately to stay alive, but his Predator tank army has been dwindled pretty significantly. We have more Predator tanks streaming in from the back lines, but even with the double Watchtower defense here, it's not going to be enough. They just simply don't have enough damage to actually do anything to these Predator tanks, and actually Phoenix is being really good about pulling his damage tanks back to the War Factory support. And Granola 17, realizing that he just doesn't have any way of pulling this one out, he's going to throw in the towel, and Phoenix goes up 1-0. So quick game number 1 here, 5 minutes and 18 seconds on the books, and Phoenix coming through on top. And yeah, maybe just Granola 17 not really sure what he wanted to do on this map and just went for kind of a YOLO push with the MCV in War Factory production, but that didn't necessarily work out to his advantage. So we're going to be seeing Phoenix up 1-0 so far in this series, could potentially be knocking Granola 17 out in game number 2, and that's going to be coming up momentarily, everybody, so be sure to stick around. Hello everybody and welcome to game number 2 of this best of 3 quarterfinal series, and that brings us to the map Tournament Rift. And spawning on the left hand side as the yellow GDI, we have Phoenix. And sliding over to the right hand side, the man that's in a do or die situation, down 0-1 in this series, as the purple Reaper 17, we have Granola 17. And he may actually be Traveler 59 now that I look at it. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, he's actually Traveler 59, my mistake. He changed it at the last second. I thought I had my info right, and then he went ahead and changed it. We'll go ahead and update the scoreboard as well. But it is 1-0 in favor of Phoenix right now, and I just saw the comment from Predator in chat that this may not be a map that was allowed to be selected for the tournament, so this may have been my goof up. I don't know that I actually mentioned this to these guys, but all the same, we're going to be seeing it on Tournament Rift. I don't think we can really stop it now. Besides, it should be a good game. Granola 17 going really heavy into disintegrators here, as he does have, looks like 2 engineers going to be headed down to the south, or rather 2 assimilators be headed down to the south, going to be looking to grab those Tiberium spikes. Meanwhile, Phoenix, he's going for a really long kite away from the ridge here. Doesn't want to get killed off by any buzzers. Wants to get himself that scouting information. Doesn't look like he wants to commit into grabbing those southern Tiberium spikes. I don't blame him. That's a risky move. And honestly, sniper team's not really viable. They can't really keep up with the engineers, so probably a smart move not to even bother dealing with it, knowing that it's probably going to be disintegrators headed down there. Phoenix, he does have a scout in the base of Granola 17. Granola 17, it looks like he's done a little bit of a U-turn here with his drone ship, going to be headed down south now, going for the expansion, so Phoenix is definitely aware that there are disintegrators out on the map. He already has his APC out, more than likely drafting a tower. We'll get that rifleman squad garrisoned inside. Could be losing his Tiberium spike, though, and that's probably what he's looking to defend right now. You do see the APC with the rifleman squad garrisoned inside. It's going to be accompanying the MCV as it heads down south. She's going to choose to focus down the garrison here as opposed to take out the Tiberium spike. Looking maybe to try to force this APC to actually come into range, but honestly, Phoenix, he's not going to make that mistake. Meanwhile, we do have the MCV from Phoenix. It looks like it's now going to be rallied down to the south, so a little bit slower on the expansion, but he's already got 2 refineries. Granola 17, he has not unpacked his drone ship. That's not good. That's a huge amount of wasted time right now. Maybe he's a little bit behind on economy, but he's got 4 harvesters now. He needs to start pumping out some more refineries, otherwise he's going to be significantly far behind. Granola 17, this is a rookie mistake right here. He's busy microing around with these disintegrator squads, but now he's going to lose a couple of squads here as they run into the base, but he will get the Tiberium spike for his troubles. But honestly, I mean, Phoenix, he can just grab a couple of APC engineers, send them down to the south, and should be able to grab those Tiberium spikes without too much trouble. And in the meantime, I think only now he's unpacked his drone ship. Yeah, he's only just now done that, and he's now building his refinery, so way behind in terms of producing his 2nd refinery. 3rd refinery is already down for Phoenix, so it's 3 refineries to 1 right now between Phoenix and Granola 17. So despite the fact that he did get the Tiberium spike kill, it is not looking too good right now for Granola 17. I think he's realized the error of his ways, and he's actually been forced to send out 2 harvesters to grab blue Tiberium here. We'll get spotted by Phoenix, may prompt a pitbull response here, but honestly I'm not sure. It looks like Phoenix is actually respecting the disintegrator option here from Granola 17, dropping double foxholes as well as some mines in front of his refinery here. Actually, Phoenix, he opts to go for the early command post before 2nd War Factory or even 4th refinery. So interesting move here, but all the same, we do have the APC with the rifleman squad actually managed to chase Granola 17 all the way back into his base. That will get focused down now, though. We do have a couple of gunwalkers coming out as well, but Granola 17, he has not got anything on this expansion. He's only just now dropped his 2nd refinery on his main field, and he's going to be looking to try to get himself back into this game. A couple of harvesters returning from the blue Tiberium field. It looks like they managed to clean up the majority of the blue Tiberium, but there is still quite a bit of growth there. It looks like they came back without full tanks. Not sure if they were being pressured by something, but Phoenix, I think he's realized how far he is ahead in terms of economy, and he realizes that, okay, well, I mean, if this is the way we want things to go, let's just kind of camp out for now. He's going to get early AP ammo, and that's going to be finished up here momentarily, and once he gets that, he's going to be looking really good, and will more than likely start going into Hammerhead production, I would imagine, as that's a pretty good option against Traveler 59 with the fast leg disintegrators and cultists and things like that they have running around. And yeah, there goes the airfield, so more than likely going to be seeing Hammerheads on the way. Could be Orcas, but I very much doubt it. couple of units here from Granola 17 being just thrown into the meat grinder here of Phoenix. I thought for a second that he may have pulled a harvester off the line, but I think that harvester is just waiting to dock. It's kind of in a weird position as far as the way it's angled towards the refinery, but all the same, it's double portal disintegrator spam here coming out from Granola 17. Realizes that he needs some map presence and needs it now, but this is going to be scary once these hammerheads start making their appearance out on the map. It looks like there already isn't a hammerhead out on the map. It has AP ammo. It's going to be joined here by a couple of APCs as well. There are some Predator tanks which look like they're going to be joining the battle, so this is actually looking like it could be a scary force here coming out from Phoenix, because there's really no way to deal with the hammerheads. I mean, there's a couple of gunwalkers out which could potentially keep them away, but honestly the APCs with the AP ammo as well as the Predator tanks should be able to kill off those gunwalkers no problem whatsoever. They are firing on something. Oh, actually, it looks like he may have got himself a hammerhead kill. I'm not quite sure what Phoenix was up to over there. I did miss it. I was in the wrong position as far as panning goes. But a couple of scouts coming from Phoenix up in the top of the map, wants to see what's going on up there since the majority of his forces are down in the south. Looks like Phoenix is actually paying some respect here to Granola 17. Doesn't want to commit in with just this force, but he's definitely exerting pretty strong map control right now, and he's got units streaming across the map. He's also going to capitalize on this by sending some harvesters to the blue Tiberian field. Should be able to clean up that field pretty well. Got 2 harvesters on their way there, and more hammerheads being produced. Double war factory, Predator tank, APC spam coming out from him. No tier 3 just yet for Phoenix, and no pack up of the MCV, so a little bit of a squandered opportunity here from Phoenix. He's got pretty significant map control right now. He can continue to capitalize on that by going for the green Tiberian field up in the north, but with that out of the way, it looks like we've got a hammerhead that's got pretty much free open season here on the disintegrators. 2 hammerheads going to be chewing up these disintegrator squads for free. There's absolutely nothing to deal with them. It's double portal cultists coming out from Granola 17, but they're getting focused down immediately. Now these disintegrators are running into the AP ammo APCs, trying to get away from the AP ammo hammerheads, and it was Granola 17 getting caught between a rock and a hard place. So despite the fact that Phoenix hasn't actually gone for any expansion off of the back of this, it looks like he should be able to kill off the majority of this infrastructure, or at least do enough damage here to warrant Granola 17 to be in a tough situation. Looks like the extractor is actually going to get focused down here, but these guys are just on a move order. Oh, that tier 3 is ripe for the picking here, as we're seeing the AP ammo absolutely shredding this structure. Very little armor on that tech assembler, and with the help of the Predator tanks, that's going to get focused down straight away. So tier 3 goes down without anything really being used aside from the temporal wormhole, which really didn't do much when all things are said and done. But tier 2 getting focused down here. It's left with just a tiny bit of HP. Will finally get focused down. Lightning Spike comes down from Granola 17, but this is looking like it's going to be it. Granola 17 with the GG, and it's looking like that's going to be it. Phoenix going to be taking this series 2-0. So once again, Phoenix showing his superior knowledge of the game and just manages to come up and over the top of Granola 17. Really, I think where the disparity really occurred was when Granola 17 didn't unpack his MCV. I mean, yes, he was a little bit delayed as far as his refinery goes due to the fact that he went for the early disintegrator opener, but honestly, he should have been a lot further ahead than where he was at as far as refinery placements go. So Phoenix was able to just capitalize on that and just get himself bulked up to that GDI death roll and just rolled through the base of Granola 17. So 8 minutes and 2 seconds on the clocks, and a massive victory there for Phoenix. So he's going to be progressing on, should be moving on into the semifinals, and Granola 17 unfortunately going to be departing from this event, despite a good effort all the same. And with that said, we're going to be jumping into our next series, everybody, so be sure to stick around. All right, everybody. It doesn't look like there are any games in the lobby, so I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a bracket update while we are waiting for a game to show up here. So let's go ahead and pop that bracket up on your screens, and we can take a look at it. So Phoenix, obviously, we saw him facing off. So Granola17 took a 2-1 victory over Aggressive Panda. So nice victory there. Going to be moving on to the quarterfinals. Unfortunately, was dispatched 2-0 by Phoenix, as we do see him progressing on to the semifinals. Lion Cub going to be facing off against RealPlayers or Duck, depending on who comes out on top in that series. I'm not sure if that's still underway or what the deal is, but it doesn't look like the results have been reported just yet. Down below that, we did see Gorilla, which is AMindInRuins, dispatching Unknown 2-0 in that series, and Wookibert returned the favor and beat him 2-0 in the quarterfinals. So Wookibert has already secured himself a spot in the semifinals. And down below that, we did see Encore taking a 2-0 victory over the top of Angel of Death. And now it is Death Sentence versus Encore in the quarterfinals, going to be facing off for a spot against Wookibert. So Phoenix has secured himself a spot in the top bracket of, or rather the top portion of the semifinals bracket. Wookibert on the other side is already down there, so we are just waiting on the remainder of these games to be completed, and we'll see if we can jump into another series here. So it's looking like it's going to be a short and sweet tournament here today, which is actually kind of nice, probably predicting about 3.5 hours, maybe a little bit longer, depending on how things go. But all the same, it looks like we've got a decent number of players and some pretty good names here, so I'm looking forward to seeing how these guys make it out as we get a little bit later in the tournament. But anyways, with that said, we're going to be looking for our next series of games, everybody, so be sure to stick around. Hello everybody and welcome to game number 2 of this best of 3 round of 16 series, and that brings us to the map Smashtown, USA. And spawning down in the bottom left corner as the red GDI, we have Doc. And the man that's up 1-0, oh jeez, total fail there. The man that is up 1-0 in this series so far in the top right corner as the purple Nod, we have RealPlayers. So not sure who RealPlayers is, to be honest, but it is 1-0 in favor of him right now. Doc is somebody that I've seen in a previous 2v2 tournament, I think. It may have been a 3v3, not quite sure, but I definitely know that I've seen him before. I think he was playing with a buddy named Rock, because it was a team named like Rock Doc or something like that, and it was actually kind of fun to say. But all the same, it's going to be Doc versus RealPlayers here, so probably two, I would say, lower skill level players as far as the overall skill ladder goes. Though I can't really speak to that, accurately, because I don't know these players particularly well. I thought I've seen Doc play decently well, and I mean, if RealPlayers has taken a game off of him, then I would say he's not too bad all the same. But anyways, we'll get into the specifics of the game as we're going along here. GDI versus Classic Nod. El Clasico, if you want to call it that, but honestly, in Kane's Wrath, I think El Clasico is probably Blackhand v Traveler 59, but anyways, all the same, we're going to be seeing just a Pitbull poking a little bit of damage onto these Harvesters. It looks like the Harvesters are out of range of the repairs from that War Factory, so a little bit too far separated from the refinery here, but that's okay, not too much to be worried about. We do see a Foxhole here from Doc, just going to be poking a little bit of damage onto the Harvesters there. Looks like they are spotted by the Pitbull that is in that base, so just standard eco here from both players. It doesn't look like anything too crazy is really going on here. What else do we have going on? Honestly, it doesn't look like there are any scouts in the corners of the map. Surprisingly enough, we usually see players open up and they'll send scouts down to the structures just to get some vision of when their opponents are expanding, but it doesn't look like either one of these players was really worried about doing that. Meanwhile, we do see Doc actually expanding off to the right-hand side, and I think we're actually going to see a clash over this field because RealPlayers is actually expanding down to the south as well. So it's going to be a fight here down in the bottom right corner or southeast corner, depending on how you look at it. And yeah, the MCVs are getting here at exactly the same time. Going to be unpacking. Scorpion Tank there just kind of chilling out. It looks like RealPlayers maybe a little bit disappointed to see that there's an MCV here. He is going to unpack now. He's a little bit behind in terms of production as we do not see anything coming out just yet. A Harvester being rallied off to the right-hand side, that's pretty risky, to be honest. I mean, he knows it's a contested field. Yeah, he's actually going to call that back now. We'll more than likely see a War Factory here on the front lines. You see a barracks coming out from Doc. I don't know about the decision to drop a barracks here. I mean, he knows that there's going to be shredder turrets coming out from RealPlayers, and honestly, he's dealing with some power issues. He needs to sell off that barracks. There's no real reason to have that around unless he dropped it back here for like an engineer repair on his MCV. But Doc may be missing an opportunity here. There's already a War Factory down on the front lines here for RealPlayers. He's also got a decent number of Scorpion Tanks on the front lines as well. Take a look and see what's going on up in his main. Like it was maybe just a Pitbull scout or something in his base, but Doc is looking like he's going to get focused down here by the forces of RealPlayers. And I mean, his MCV, he moved forward. He managed to get it unpacked before RealPlayers, but went for a barracks and has not produced anything off of it just yet. So he's actually produced a Guardian Cannon. He's in that situation where it's kind of necessary to produce that, as you don't really have any other way of stopping this. Watchtower is not going to be ideal in this situation because they just simply don't have the DPS to really do anything significant to these Scorpion Tanks. But honestly, the Guardian Cannons are not doing a whole lot as we speak either. But the construction yard is getting focused down here for Doc. It looks like that will get killed here. Should be going down. Yeah, there it goes. So MCV going down there for Doc. He only has a War Factory for production. Does have a barracks here, which is finally going to get sold off. It looks like he's low on power, and that's not going to be made any better by the fact that he's lost his MCV. But it's looking like this could be a quick game number 2 here for RealPlayers and Doc, as we're going to be seeing Doc getting forced out of this game. Forces him to sell up his War Factory there. He does have a second War Factory, but GG comes in from Doc, and that's going to be it. RealPlayers taking this series 2-0. So not much more to say there. I mean, it's just some bad decisions made by Doc. Unfortunately, was not able to come out on top in that game. That's kind of the risk you run when it's kind of unscouted and you both expand to that same corner of the map, and RealPlayers was just able to capitalize on that by putting a ton of pressure on Doc and getting that War Factory on the front lines long before Doc was able to get his War Factory produced. It just allowed him to spiral out of control. So good playing there from RealPlayers. Not quite sure who he is, but he's definitely secured himself a spot here in the quarterfinals, and we'll more than likely be catching another game with him in it in the next series, so be sure to stick around. Also, just a quick heads up for you, for those of you that are watching here today, if you are interested, Aggressive Panda is also casting today. He is casting as we speak. I believe he's about to jump into game number 2 of Death Sentence versus... I believe it is Death Sentence versus... I'm not sure who it is, to be honest. I was in there just a second ago, but I've completely forgotten about it. But I will add his stream link to the description of this video, so if you guys want to check out his stream, be sure to head over there and give him my kind regards. It is a stream over on Twitch. We'll drop the link here. Let's see. Twitch stream. There we go. And then we'll add Aggressive Panda on there. Okay, so we'll save that. So the Twitch stream for Aggressive Panda is linked in the description of the video, so be sure to head down there and give him, once again, my kind regards. And with that said, we're going to be jumping into Lion Cup versus RealPlayers here momentarily, everybody, so be sure to stick around. Whoa, okay, epic fail there as far as the production goes, but anyway, sorry about that, everybody. Game number 1 of this best of 3 series, the quarterfinal series, brings us to the map Tournament, or rather, Forest Arena. Sorry, I'm totally thrown here. Down in the bottom left corner as the Cyan Zocom. Yeah, Cyan Zocom down in the bottom as it's going to be RealPlayers. And then in the upper right corner, if I can slide here. Sorry, my hotkeys are totally screwed up, that's why I'm all messed up here, but as the blue Marked of Kane, let me just make sure I got that right. Yes, blue Marked of Kane, we have Lion Cub. Let's go ahead and pop that up. This is game number 1. It's the game number 1 of the quarterfinals here, so RealPlayers, we just caught the tail end of his series against Doc, and he managed to take a 2-0 victory there. Going to be facing off against Lion Cub this time around, and Lion Cub, obviously an older player here, or rather he's been around for a little longer. I don't know age-wise. I don't want to necessarily speculate on that, but anyways, it's just going to be, it looks like standard eco here for probably both players because, I mean, these factions, again, not necessarily the greatest in terms of early game options. So let's take a look and see how things go here. Looks like RealPlayers is actually going to get himself a garrison here down in the base of Lion Cub, so that should give him pretty good scouting information here, and it will be a little bit difficult here for Lion Cub to actually de-garrison him. Yeah, so again, just standard eco openers here from both players. And again, I just want to touch on the, oh, okay, actually nice EMP here coming out from Lion Cub, going to be locking down that refinery as well as a harvester. Just slows down the economy just a little bit there for RealPlayers, and just a little annoying for him to deal with. But anyways, getting back to what I was saying, I do apologize for the production mistakes here. Like I said in the Tiberium Wars tournament yesterday, I'm dealing with some issues with hotkeys that have kind of overlapped with one another. Actually, EMP coming off on the Pitbull there, and that one Awakened squad actually doing a pretty significant amount of damage to that Pitbull, all things considered. He's going to grab himself a garrison now as well. Should actually be able to focus down that Pitbull if this fight goes on for much longer. That'd be a pretty significant loss there for RealPlayers. He doesn't want to be throwing away a Pitbull for nothing. But we do have a second War Factory coming out for Lion Cub before the expand. He's going to pack up and go for the expand now. And, yeah, the stare is saying, wow, Sparty, what was that? Yeah, that was an epic fail as far as the production goes. I was hitting all kinds of different buttons and things like that, so really threw me for a loop. But anyways, double War Factory. It looks like Bike Buggy going to be on the cards here for Lion Cub. And coming forward, he's going to be dropping his MCV on his field here. So this is the annoying thing about these garrisons. It's almost worthwhile to just send a scout into your own garrison to prevent this type of thing from happening. But RealPlayers, he's got a scout here, and this garrison should be getting quite good scouting information there. And Bike Buggy rolling into the expansion here of RealPlayers. He's actually powered down his MCV, so he's going to be keeping that offline. Going to be sending up some Pitbulls here to deal with this, but honestly, his refinery's actually been chunked down to about 3/4 HP, 2/3 HP. That gets focused down pretty heavily there, but doesn't lose it just yet. It looks like he hasn't actually started repairing it either. Doesn't seem to be too concerned about that just yet. So that Pitbull here from RealPlayers, wow, super low on HP. Going to be surviving. It's in heavy damage mode, so he's going to be very, very slow. And now Lion Cub realizing that he has a scout in his base. He wants to de-garrison this scout. Just gives him a little bit more breathing room here to change up his build as he desires, with the I guess a little bit of a peace of mind to know that he's not going to be spotted very clearly here. But yeah, looking at the chat, it's Zocom versus Marked of Kane, a matchup that you very rarely see nowadays, especially, I mean, players, generally speaking, won't pick those factions, either one of them, so it's kind of nice to see both of them featured in the same match. But we're going to be seeing double Refiner here coming out from Lion Cub. Despite him having the early advantage here, it doesn't seem like he wants to necessarily pressure that too much further. You have missile squads coming out in defense for RealPlayers. He's also got a second War Factory down as well, so he'll be able to hold a line here. And honestly, I think as the game goes on, both of these players should get quite a bit stronger as both of their factions go pretty well into the late game. Stealth tanks for stealth tanks for RealPlayers, and then obviously the ceramic armor hammerheads for Lion Cub. I'm sorry, I have them completely backwards. Ceramic armor hammerheads for Lion Cub. I'm failing it. Just so bad. So we'll leave it at that. Harvester goes down for RealPlayers. It's because of the scoreboard. I've got it kind of backwards here as far as this map. But anyways, Pitbull's going to be responding, taking out a Harvester of Lion Cub. So that will be going down. So Pitbull, or rather Harvester for Harvester there between these two players. Now these Harvesters are actually going to be pulled way off the line. Not sure where Lion Cub is really going here. He's pulling these both away from the War Factory as well as away from the supporting units. So maybe trying to buy himself some time to get some other units in range. But honestly, yeah, the focus fire coming out from RealPlayers is going to be able to take out another Harvester, but going to pay for that with a lot of Pitbulls here. Should honestly just turn and fire on this one Harvester. He's trying to kite around, but honestly just needs to focus fire. Could have taken down another Harvester there, but honestly a lot of Pitbulls going down there. But Zircon going to be rolling out here. Predator tanks obviously unbugged here in 1.02 plus, and we will be seeing them being produced here for RealPlayers. What's he going to do here? We do have Scorpion tanks as well as some bike buggy cruising around on the back side of things, but the missile squad should be able to take out these Predator tanks, or rather Scorpion tanks, no problem with the assistance of the Predator tanks. Looks like they are going to get focused down now. Looks like we did have a couple of Scorpion tanks make their way down south, but the Pitbulls here from RealPlayers going to be able to cut them off. So now actually as RealPlayers, he's going to be putting the pressure on Lion Cub. As I'm going to go ahead and turn the turrets on you, buddy. Not going to get pressured in my own base. Rocket squads as well as some APC Predator tanks coming forward here. Or RealPlayers going to be able to do some serious damage up here. But meanwhile, the Pitbull raiding from RealPlayers down in the expansion of Lion Cub going to be taking out Harvester after Harvester. 2 Harvesters going down. A 3rd Harvester going to be going down as well. No Shredder turrets being drafted here to actually deal with this. As we can see, he's trying to deal with this Predator army that's in his base, but honestly, losing these Harvesters is a lot more damaging, and then once these Harvesters are down, more than likely that Tier 3 going to be the focus here for RealPlayers. No recourse coming out from Lion Cub, only now responding to this with some bike buggy, but honestly, these Pitbulls should be able to trade with that bike buggy pretty easily. A little overkill on those bikes as he's trying to focus them down, but he's now starting to win that fight. Honestly, RealPlayers, he's traded out a decent number of Pitbulls with that bike buggy. Should honestly just cut and run. He's definitely done the damage he wanted to do. Took out 4 or 5 Harvesters. Lion Cub realizing that he just can't really recover in a realistic way, so he's going to throw in the towel in game number 1, going over to RealPlayers. So again, not sure who RealPlayers is, but he's coming through with a victory here in this game, and could potentially be knocking out Lion Cub. We'll have to see. I'm not sure if Lion Cub's been playing or if he's kind of rusty at the moment. I know he's probably not familiar with the map. He's obviously an older player, so probably going to be a little bit more at home on the original maps. But all the same, we will be seeing him down 0-1 in this series so far, and it's going to be up to him to make something happen in game number 2, and that's coming up momentarily, everybody, so be sure to stick around. All right, everybody, and welcome to game number 2 of this best of 3 round of 8 series, and that brings us to the map Tournament Dust Bowl. And spawning in the top of the map, the man that is in a do-or-die situation as the yellow scrin, we have Lion Cub. And then down in the bottom of the map as the green Reaper 17, we have RealPlayers. I'm pretty sure I have those names and factions right. Let me just double check it. Yes, that is in fact the case. So going to be Reaper 17 versus Scrin. I think both of these guys went random again. So Lion Cub dropping his refinery in a really forward location. That's kind of unusual. Not sure what his plan is with this. We'll give him a little bit of defense as far as dropping base defenses out in that area. We'll give him a little bit more base building radius as well. So kind of interesting placement, but RealPlayers, he will be looking to secure himself a Tiberium Spike on the left-hand side of the map. Let's take a look on the right-hand side. It looks like Lion Cub has managed to grab himself a Tiberium Spike, despite the fact that RealPlayers had a couple of buzzers here that will get cut off. But the same we have coming out from RealPlayers. Does he have any assimilator down here? It doesn't look like it. I don't have health bars turned on, but I don't see them at this point in time. Buzzer's just in the base of Lion Cub, or rather in the base of RealPlayers here. I'm not sure why I keep getting them backwards, but all the same, just going to be trying to poke away at those shields. And obviously, if you can take the shields down on the harvesters, that makes follow-up harassment pretty easy. But in any case, we do see just some early game scouting here from both players. It looks like Lion Cub manages to actually kill off the remaining buzzer here in the base of RealPlayers. He's got 3 buzzers just kind of chilling out in this base. Could actually be losing all 3 of them if he keeps them around for too much longer. Should just leave one of them there and then move the other 2 around the map. But it doesn't look like Lion Cub's too worried about it. Oh, I'm sorry. Those are actually Lion Cub's buzzers, so never mind. He actually anti-scouted RealPlayers here, as we do see the drone ship pack up for both players. Going to be going for that expansion. And yeah, it's looking like a pretty standard eco play here from these guys. Not terribly shocking. Kane's Wrath kind of favors the eco play here, but like Lion Cub going to be expanding again a little bit further down. It looks like he wants to get that earlier expansion to his third green field, so we'll have to see if he's able to make that pay off for himself. But anyways, it's going to be drone platforms just building up those refineries. These guys don't seem to be too concerned about building too many aggressive units here, but it looks like RealPlayers has actually managed to get himself a Shardwalker to walk through the base of Lion Cub, doing that moonwalk backwards there, just saying, hey bro, I can see exactly what you're up to. And now we do see a Gunwalker coming out from Lion Cub. Does he actually have any scouting information here on RealPlayers? It doesn't look like he does, and RealPlayers is going to capitalize on this by sending out some disintegrators off to the left-hand side. Will get spotted here by a buzzer from Lion Cub, so great scouting path here from Lion Cub. Actually going to be revealing the fact that there are disintegrators on the left-hand side of the map, so if he was paying attention, he should be able to deal with that pretty easily. What do we have going on here? Lion Cub doing a really nice job of scouting around the map, despite the fact that he didn't really send out any Gunwalkers early. He'll be losing his buzzer there to a Shardwalker, but very little to be worried about. Disintegrator is going to be moving through the map here for RealPlayers. Going to be looking to put the pressure onto Lion Cub. Maybe just deny that assimilator that would be coming out to capture that Tiberium Spike a little bit later on. But anyways, it looks like, actually, interestingly enough, these guys kind of went for opposite Tiberium Spikes of what you would think they would go for. Like, RealPlayers would normally take the expansion path of going to the right and then up towards this area here. You'd think he'd start with taking this Tiberium Spike, and likewise for Lion Cub here on the left-hand side, but it looks like it's going to be the other way around. But hey, it is what it is. All right, and we do just see anti-scouting going on around the map. We do have our first engagement here, as we do see a number of Seeker Tanks joined by a Lightning Spike going to be trying desperately to take out a Harvester. One Harvester will be going down, but at the cost of at least 3 Seeker Tanks, maybe more. Also a Lightning Spike going to be going down as well, but not before it's able to poke a little bit more damage onto that Harvester. So a quick tier 2 coming out from Lion Cub, going to be netting himself a Harvester kill there, but those Reaper 17 Harvesters particularly difficult to kill. Actually, Lion Cub already up to tier 3, so hasn't dropped a second refinery on that field just yet. Has completely mined out his original green field, going for those early game Mechapedes. Not terribly shocking. He's not up against Traveler 59, so he doesn't have to worry about Cultists. So Mechapedes definitely going to be a good option here for him. Needs to be careful though, because the tripods from RealPlayers could actually be very, very damaging here if he decides to transition into them, as I stutter a little bit there or slur my words, depends on how you look at it. Actually may have been a combination of the two, but Lion Cub going to be sending down a couple of Gunwalkers here, maybe looking to catch out these Disintegrators. Should be able to get into range, but honestly there's a couple of Seeker Tanks going to be joining the fight here as well, joined by a Shardwalker, and actually this is looking like it's going to be going RealPlayers' way for sure. Should actually be able to get those Disintegrators in and kill off these Gunwalkers as well. The Gunwalkers are actually going to turn and fire on the Disintegrators. Smart move there. Maybe a little bit of an aggressive play here coming out from RealPlayers to send up those Disintegrators so early. They're going to get focused down, no problem, by the Shard Launcher, or rather Shard Segment Mechapede army here from Lion Cub. And now that's a lot of map pressure here coming out from Lion Cub. Tier 3 finally coming down for RealPlayers. He does have double Warp Sphere at the moment, and has his tier 2 as well. So looks like actually Attenuated Force Field is going to be coming out pretty soon here for RealPlayers. That looks like it's on the way very shortly. But Lion Cub, he's already halfway to his Hexapod, and that's pretty scary. He obviously has access to the Mastermind. I do not believe that RealPlayers does. As Reaper 17, I don't think they gain access to commandos, but all the same, it's looking like the Mechapede's going to be coming in and trying to trade with the Tier 1 army here from RealPlayers. Manages to take out a Seeker tank or two. Not too much to lose there, but Stasis Shield comes down from Lion Cub, but I think he actually gets the majority of his Mechapedes kind of stuck on him. As we do see, they're actually coming forward. They've actually got a couple of disc segments as well, maybe expecting that there was going to be some kind of an air transition here coming out from RealPlayers, but that's not going to be the case. Focusing down the Shardwalkers, should honestly be focusing down the Harvesters considering how little damage output there is right now. Maybe a missed opportunity. Let's take a look and see what's going on the other side of the map. It's just a scout on the other side. Phase Field coming off on all of those Harvesters. Going to be keeping all of the Harvesters alive, so RealPlayers going to be keeping those guys alive. So nice Phase Field coming out from him. All the same, going to be seeing Lion Cub getting away with 4 Mechapedes here. I think he only lost 1 Mechapede in that whole fight, but used his Stasis Shield as well. So RealPlayers, that's still a support power that he has access to. Could potentially be dropping that here on Lion Cub. He could lock down all 4 of those Mechapedes. He could kill those off pretty quickly. That would not be a bad idea whatsoever. Doesn't look like he actually has a Stasis Chamber around at the moment, so not going to be on the cards for him just yet. I heard the Hexpod. It is out on the map. I'm not quite sure where it's managed to walk itself to, but looks like it is down in the expansion of Lion Cub. So Lion Cub going to be looking to establish his second expansion here on this green Tiberian field, and that's where the majority of the income is going to be coming from in the near future here. A little bit of a visual glitch there. Looks like Lion Cub has actually managed to secure himself both Tiberian spikes as he does grab that one away from RealPlayers. So he's got the tech advantage, he's got the expansion advantage, and RealPlayers, he's pretty far behind it now, as I don't think he's been able to really capitalize on this too much. I was looking for that blue Tiberium in the middle of the map, but I forgot we're not on Smash Dust Bowl. This is regular tournament Dust Bowl, so no blue Tiberium. But all the same, it looks like RealPlayers is going to be looking to put some pressure on the expansion here. He does have a Hexapod to deal with, and we do have a supporting Annihilator tripod, but if the force fields come online here for the tripods for RealPlayers, this could really turn the tide of this battle pretty significantly in his favor. But that Hexapod is going to be very, very tanky and a lot of damage output. These Tier 1 units really going to be tanking majority of the damage on the front lines here. Need to focus down the Annihilator tripod and then immediately take down the Husk so that way the portal isn't able to grab that back. Honestly, RealPlayers should just cut and run in this situation. It looks like he's going to engage in. Gets the EMP on the Hexapod. Will more than likely force out the phase field here from Lion Cub, as I think he still has that power available. He hasn't used it just yet. Actually, no, he's not even going to worry about it right now. Doesn't seem to be too bothered by it. As we do see all of these tripods getting focused down here. So 5 tripod husks here for Lion Cub to actually potentially grab back. RealPlayers realizing this, he's going to call in the Buzzer Swarm support power. Only manages to take out 2 of the tripod husks, so that's actually probably worth it. But he did lose all of those tripods to start with, so that's not going to be good. The Annihilator, or rather the Reaper tripod, is going to be charging up here, giving themselves just that small leg up over the top of the Annihilator tripods, at least until their shields come online, and then they will become an pretty much unstoppable force, because that's just a ridiculous amount of damage. RealPlayers is actually choosing to focus down that Tiberium spike. I don't know about that decision. I mean, he honestly could have captured it, and it would have been pretty easy to grab that away, but doesn't seem to want to allow that to be in the hands of Lion Cub for any longer. He's going to go ahead and eliminate that, but Lion Cub, he's massed up to a pretty significant sized force here. Hexapod glitched out a little bit there, but he's got some supporting Corruptors coming forward here, and they're all going to be rallied to actually get some repairs on that. So the frontline tank here for Lion Cub going to be looking to press into RealPlayers. RealPlayers, he does have a decent number of Annihilator tripods here, or rather Reaper tripods on the front lines. Does he have Tier 3? He does still have Tier 3. Doesn't look like shields or conversion reserves are being upgraded as we speak, so no upgrades on the cards for him just yet. But honestly, there's very little in the way of EMP options here for Lion Cub. We also know that his Stasis Shield is on cooldown, I believe. Let's take a quick look and see. I'm just kind of curious. I did skirt right over him. See, that Stasis Shield is still on cooldown here for him, so that's not going to be an option just yet. But we do see the Reaper tripods actually getting a pretty good set of shots here on these Mechapedes as they kind of cruise through. They're getting a little bit of damage. That one Mechapede surviving with just a tiny bit of HP, going to be trading out for a Reaper tripod. That's a pretty decent trade. one megapede for a tripod, not the worst thing in the world, but honestly, RealPlayers, he has not established any economy on this expansion and really can't in the foreseeable future, and now the remainder of his tripods are actually getting focused down here. Shields are actually online for Lion Cub, so despite the fact that RealPlayers would have benefited a little bit more by having those shields, he will not be able to afford to buy them. Honestly, it looks like just a couple of missteps here from RealPlayers are going to be kind of throwing this game away for him. I don't know how he can possibly come back. Yeah, and he's realized that now. So RealPlayers is going to be dropping game number 2, and that's going to be bringing us to an ace match. So Lion Cub picking up his first win so far in this tournament, I believe. I think he got a free win out of the round of 16. But all the same, it's going to be evening up this series 1-0. Lion Cub looking a lot stronger in that second game, looking a lot more consistent as far as his micro goes. But it's anybody's game here coming up in game number 3, and it's do or die for both players. So we'll have to see what the faction choice and map choice is going to end up being. But with that said, we're headed into game number 3, everybody. So be sure to stick around. All right, everybody, and welcome to game number 3 of this best of 3 series, and that brings us to the map Small Town, USA. And spawning down in the bottom left corner as the cyan Marked of Kane, we have RealPlayers. The man who just picked up his first win in the last game as the pink Reaper 17 in the upper right corner, we have Lion Cub. So Marked of Kane making its 3rd appearance here in this game, and Reaper 17 being played as well, so kind of interesting. I'm honestly very happy with the way this has turned out. We've seen a lot of Marked of Kane today, and that's more than likely in respect to the fact that most players have been playing random, but I really like the way that the factions have been lining up. But honestly, Reaper 17 versus Marked of Kane, the shields that Lion Cub has access to are actually going to make it's going to be just an inherent advantage over the top of the EMP ability here from RealPlayers. But in the same token, RealPlayers can take out those shields immediately with an EMP, so that's one way to eliminate the shield option from Lion Cub. So take it as you will. We'll have to see how that comes out for either side of this equation here, but looking like it's probably once again going to be standard eco openers here from both players. They're both sitting on 1 win. It's do or die for either one of them, as when either one of them loses in this game, they are out of the tournament for the remainder of the day. But it's also due to the fact that Marked of Kane versus Reaper 17, there's really not a whole lot of early game options for either one of these players. We could see like DevCore Rush coming out from Lion Cub, but honestly, even RealPlayers, he doesn't have a whole lot in the way of early game options. I mean, you could go like a double, I don't know, you could go like a double Tiberium Trooper Reckoner or something. It would be very strange, to be honest, but I don't know. I haven't seen a whole lot of rushes from Marked of Kane. Maybe Shadow Teams, but honestly, Shadow Teams are just so infrequently used these days in Kane's Wrath. Just not all that cost-effective due to the fact that they've been nerfed by CGF in the form of removing the instant cast time the second they are used. But anyways, all the same, we have double Warp Sphere coming out from Lion Cub, interestingly enough, so maybe going to be a tech straight up to tier 2 here for him. And getting out some Devourer tanks, that would not be a bad idea. Doesn't look like he's actually building anything at the moment. Maybe he's a little bit stalled for cash. It looks like something is building now, but On the other side of the equation here, we did see a pack up of the MCV. I'm not quite sure where it went for RealPlayers. It's already at the bottom right expansion here for RealPlayers, so if this game goes on much longer, he could potentially get himself a pretty significant economy lead, but he is dealing with double Warp Sphere production coming out from Lion Cub, so more than likely going to be a tech up to Tier 2, as we do see that Tier 2 coming down now. But it's probably going to be a fast attenuated force fields. I would have to imagine that's going to be the idea here, because that's a lot of Tier 1 units coming out from him. Yeah, it is going to be fast attenuated force fields here for Lion Cub. Should be able to keep himself alive versus the EMP, or at least the initial EMP coming out from RealPlayers, but looking like it's going to be a mix of units here for RealPlayers in response. He's got a couple of bikes, a couple of those... oh, actually, he's got a decent amount of bike buggy here in the middle of the map. It's getting a little bit messy to try to see it, but all the same, we do see the Tier 1 army of Lion Cub going to be running forward here. Those Shardwalkers actually do a significant amount of damage to bikes due to the fact that they have very little armor, and actually don't do too poorly against Scorpion tanks either in comparison to, say, a Radar Buggy. But all the same, one Scorpion tank going to be thrown into the meat grinder here of Lion Cub. But in the meantime, RealPlayers, he's set down a second War Factory here at his expansion, and is going to be producing Scorpion tanks on the back side of things, and it looks like he's actually going to try to protect himself against the expansion of Lion Cub. Lion Cub doesn't seem to be too worried about it, though. He sent Seeker tanks up to the top of the map, or rather the top left corner. He's going to be expanding up there. Doesn't necessarily want to contend with the already built expansion here of RealPlayers. And Lion Cub, he's actually going to be sending his army down into the expansion of RealPlayers. Has not actually gone into putting any damage onto those harvesters. Attenuated force fields coming online now. So that's going to be a pretty good power spike for him. He can actually use this to take out that harvester, no problem. Looks like RealPlayers is dealing with some disintegrators and some Seeker tanks here on his second War Factory. All the same, we do see, looks like just a Scorpion tank has managed to get itself caught out of position there. A couple of Seeker tanks do go down. I don't know if they managed to claim any harvester kills. It doesn't look like it. Maybe one for their troubles, but all the same, it's looking like Lion Cub has managed to take out the economy on this expansion field and is actually winning the battle versus these Scorpion tanks, despite the fact that they have that War Factory for support. But the constant War Factory production here coming out from RealPlayers is going to be enough to force Lion Cub to call the retreat here. He's actually going to go ahead and cut and run from that fight. Looks like there are 4 harvesters and 2 refineries on that main field for RealPlayers. Meantime, Lion Cub has actually expanded up to the upper left corner of the screen, but we do see a Scorpion tank push here from RealPlayers coming out in response. So both players punishing the expansions here of their opponent, and should be looking to kill off these disintegrators the second they come out. Honestly, should be focusing down the portal. They have a decent enough position on it. Should actually be focusing that down very quickly, but doesn't look like they're too worried about it. Scorpion tanks trying to fight against the attenuated force field Seeker tanks. I don't think they're going to win, particularly due to the fact that there is a numbers advantage. Drops a photon, at least I think that's a photon cannon, yeah. Forces a photon cannon drop, so I guess that's not too bad, but loses all of his army up there. So RealPlayers kind of throwing some stuff away here. But Lion Cub, he's throwing some stuff away as well. Honestly, it's getting kind of messy here. I'm not sure who's got the advantage. Where in the world is that harvester going? So that harvester maybe just being a little bit of a troll tactic here coming out from Lion Cub. Maybe just grabbing a tiny bit of Tiberium and then going down. I think it was just on an auto rally from Lion Cub, probably on his main base due to the fact that it was cleaned up. But losing those harvesters, not what you want to be seeing, especially since he hasn't actually built a second refinery yet. So he could be really stalled for cash at this point in the game, and that's actually kind of scary looking, as you don't want to be seeing that at this point in time, because RealPlayers is actually getting a pretty decent economy lead right now. He's finally getting some harvesters on this expansion. Needs to be producing some more harvesters here, but it looks like he's actually producing more Scorpion tanks. That's not a terrible idea either. That may actually be a harvester. It's taking quite a long time to build, and wouldn't be shocked to see that come out. Let's just take a look. There's nothing really being done on the map right now, so the RealPlayers is pretty stalled for cash as well. I mean, that's the bane of double War Factory, I guess. Scorpion tanks on the move here for RealPlayers. Let's see. It is going to be a harvester coming out for RealPlayers. I figured we hovered over that long enough. We might as well see what it's going to be. But Scorpion tanks on the move here for RealPlayers, going to be looking to put some pressure onto Lion Cub. Should be able to swing through this main base here, actually clean this up. Actually, I think Lion Cub actually sold up his tier 2. Either sold it up or lost it. Not sure which of the two it was, but 4 harvesters on the expansion here. Only 1 refinery. Should be seeing a second refinery coming down in the near future. But we are seeing a counterattack here from Lion Cub. Going to be coming in, looking to put the pressure on this expansion. He is trading pretty well. He's got disintegrators here on the front line. Should be able to clean up these scorpion tanks, no problem. And then start pressuring some harvesters. Meanwhile, RealPlayers, he's going to focus down the original main base. But the big difference here is that Lion Cub is pressuring a money-making operation here for RealPlayers, whereas RealPlayers is only pressuring a decent amount of infrastructure that's left over from the original base here from Lion Cub, and he's actually going to send the remainder of his Scorpion tanks down to deal with this force. Honestly, it may be a little bit too little too late. He's lost a decent number of harvesters. We'll continue to lose more as we still see another 2 harvesters going down here as they both go down at pretty much the same time. Another harvester coming out. It was not power microed to stay alive, but looks like the Scorpion tanks are here now to try to defend this force. They need to focus down the Seeker tanks that are actually focusing down the harvester, and it looks like they do manage to take that out, but I think 3 or 4 harvesters went down there for RealPlayers, so a significant economy loss there for him. Not what you want to be seeing at this stage in the game, or any stage of the game, really. But the economy is booming here for Lion Cub, and that should start showing in the way of unit production. Still producing Tier 1 units, interestingly enough. Honestly, I would like to see some Devourer tanks coming out from him. I'm not quite sure why those aren't being produced, but anyways, all the same, we're going to be seeing RealPlayers going for the counterattack here. Going to be able to steamroll this base, no problem. Should be able to take out those 2 power plants. Honestly, Lion Cub should just sell those guys up, should get the cash back. There's no way of saving them, but doesn't seem to be too fussed about it at this point in time. Did go for a little bit of a engagement here down into the original main base of RealPlayers, but that 1 Shredder turret and supporting War Factory should be enough to hold that off. Meanwhile, I don't think we have any tech coming out from RealPlayers, at least not yet. No, it is all Tier 1, so interestingly enough, these guys with some late-game factions not really going for the late-game plays here, but looks like Lion Cub, he's kind of transitioning into that now. We do see the Tier 3 come down for him. The Lion Cub going to be maybe going for a Hexapod here in the near future. Could be tripods, not quite sure. Honestly, the eco is starting to run out for both of these players. Actually, RealPlayers has got a significant amount of economy left, but Lion Cub's probably sitting pretty as far as how much he's harvested. Probably banked a decent amount of it because he hasn't produced a tremendous amount of units off of that. But honestly, I would definitely give the advantage right now to Lion Cub. He's got a pretty significant eco lead, and he's got a ton of harvesters on that field. Now RealPlayers sending over a couple more harvesters, but honestly, Lion Cub could just come in and try to trade out some of this Tier 1 army for some more harvesters and just continue to spiral himself out of control here. Tripod's coming out now for Lion Cub, so that's going to be the unit of choice for him. It may be a Warp Chasm here that's coming down. That's looking like it's taken a pretty long time to build, and I would be surprised to see a signal transmitter, to be honest. Wouldn't be surprised to see a Warp Chasm coming down in this location here. Yep, there it is. Predicted that one, but all the same, it's going to be the Tier 1 army here from Lion Cub. Going to be looking to pressure into this largely undefended main base here from RealPlayers, and going to be losing the majority of these Scorpion tanks on the front line. It's going to be forcing out a response from his expansion, but honestly, the damage has been done. He's traded cost effectively. Lightning Spike is tanking a decent amount of the damage, but it's also dealing quite a bit of damage as well. It's allowing them to stay alive a little bit longer in this fight. Disintegrators coming forward, going to be getting run over here by the Scorpion tanks. Obviously, no Dozer Blades available. Actually, I think Dozer Blades are available, but no laser capacitors. Now RealPlayers, Lion Cub, he's on his way to his Hexapod. That's actually almost done. Actually drops a stasis chamber as well, and that could be for a stasis shield, which could potentially solidify himself in this game if he's able to lock down the army of RealPlayers. That Hexapod comes out now. It may actually signal a surrender here from RealPlayers because he's just so far behind. Doesn't look like he wants to give up yet. No, actually he's got a decent economy, so I wouldn't throw in the towel, that's for sure. Tier 2 is done for him. More than likely Tier 3 on the way, but it's going to be way behind that of Lion Cub as we already see the Hexapod pushing forward. More than likely have some Corruptors joining the fight here in the near future. Interestingly enough, Ravagers coming out from Lion Cub. Maybe going to be Ravagers joining the Hexapod? That would be kind of unusual. You don't see that very often. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a Ravager garrison inside of that Hexapod. Could give him a decent bit of anti-infantry capability, but honestly, there's really no infantry production coming out from Lion Cub, so I don't know about that decision. But anyways, it's just sustained damage. We will be seeing Lion Cub continuing to press forward here. Should be able to steamroll this base. Actually, RealPlayers doesn't want to allow that to happen. He's going to go ahead and sell up his War Factory. He does laser fence his refinery, so he's not ready to give up on it just yet. You do see a counterattack here from RealPlayers, realizing that he doesn't want to engage into the hexapod. He's going to go ahead and skirt around the other side of the map here. Going to be taking on these units. He's actually trading really well here. He's got a decent concave, but the longer this goes on, it's just the longer that hexapod gets free damage on the remainder of the base here. And I don't think RealPlayers really has the damage needed to crack through this base defense. Storm Column coming down on the front lines for Lion Cub as well. The tripods running forward should be enough to hold that off. Looks like an obelisk comes down for RealPlayers, but that's going to get immediately dropped here by Lion Cub's hexapod. Now that refinery will be going down. We may see an additional obelisk come down from RealPlayers before that does actually go down. It's like, yeah, that will be happening. Though a little bit far forward, that obelisk probably could have been dropped somewhere back here or something. I'm not quite sure, but maybe just trying to poke a little bit of damage onto some of these units. But honestly, it's very, very little when that hexapod is getting full repairs. And that refinery should be going down, and those power plants will follow suit shortly after. Honestly, could just send these seeker tanks down, clean that stuff up, and then send the remainder of his forces off to kill this base. Redeemer Engineering Facility is down on the map here for RealPlayers, but honestly, that Redeemer, it's going to be more of a tank Redeemer than anything else because it doesn't have any access to flame weaponry, so not going to be the base killing force that we see coming out from Lion Cub, but it may be enough to signal the retreat here from Lion Cub. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to check in and see in a little bit. It looks like the number of seeker tanks here sitting in the main base of Lion Cub, maybe just massing up, waiting to deal with any counterattack, and looks like a decent number of Scorpion tanks spam coming out from RealPlayers. Gonna maybe try to skirt around, may try to go in and crush the base of Lion Cub while his forces are out of position. But it may turn into a bit of a base trade here. I'm not sure if it looks like Lion Cub, or rather RealPlayers is going for the flank on this army, but that's going to be really, really bad for him. He just doesn't have the numbers to actually defeat this force. With the support here from the Corruptors, should be able to keep all of these units alive. Honestly, these Corruptors could be force firing on that Reaper tripod, just keep it alive. It was very, very heavily damaged. I'm kind of surprised that didn't go down. The Disintegrator is going to be chasing down the Scorpion tanks, and now the Scorpion tanks are being completely chased away from their base. Nice little column formation there as we see the pathing lining them all up. But honestly, not quite sure what's going on from Lion Cub. I don't know why he doesn't necessarily want to commit. It looks like he did upgrade shard launchers for his seeker tanks. We'll give him a little bit of air protection as well, but I think he only took out one harvester. Redeemer is done for RealPlayers now, but the hexapod is already on the front line. It's going to be poking some damage onto the construction yard. H-Gen goes off. I think it's out of range, though, so none of these units really going to be getting focused down. I think the only thing that was raged was the hexapod, and it already had a force fire move, or rather a fire order. Huge tier 1 army here from Lion Cub, going to be rolling in on the other side of things while the hexapod is rolling into the expansion. It's like, oh, actually, interestingly enough, Lion Cub has actually expanded down to the original main of RealPlayers. So, yeah, this is looking definitely to be going Lion Cub's way here as these guys have kind of swapped positions on the map. But Lion Cub pressuring through here, going to be absolutely crushing the Scorpion tank army here of RealPlayers, and on the other side, we do have the hexapod facing off against the Redeemer. Reaper tripods do manage to get the EMP on the Redeemer. They're going to move in to get a little bit closer, but honestly, these obelisks may be enough to focus down these tripods and get that Redeemer back online. But honestly, the construction yard should be the focus of all the damage at this point in time, and honestly, the focus of the Reaper tripods as well. But it looks like actually smart move there to EMP the obelisk. That's really the damage threat. But that Reaper tripod going to be allowed to survive. That will get focused down now by the Redeemer, but in the meantime, these seeker tanks on the right-hand side have completely cleaned up this entire base. Looks like RealPlayers is going to throw in the towel now, so Lion Cub taking a 2-1 victory here on Small Town, USA. So good game. Honestly, early game, it could have gone either way, but Lion Cub was just able to eco up and get out of control there in the late game. And Reaper 17, if they're allowed to get into that late game, they are very, very scary indeed. Unfortunately, we did not see too much in the way of EMP being used by RealPlayers. Marks of Kane, obviously they are patented for that EMP ability, but Lion Cub coming out on top. He did have to work for his victory there, but takes a 2-1 nonetheless, and he will be moving on to the semifinals. I think he's going to be looking to face off against Wookibert. Not quite sure, but we'll check in on that in a moment. And with that said, let's jump into our next series, everybody, and we will be jumping right into the action, so be sure to stay tuned. All right, everybody, quite a few events have transpired since we were in the middle of that cast, so let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket, get you guys caught up with where we're at, because we're actually quite a ways through this now. So let's pop this up on your screen so we can take a look at it. So here we go, bracket rundown. So looking at the quarterfinals, we did have Phoenix dispatching Granola 17 2-0 there. Lion Cub, we just saw him take a 2-1 victory over RealPlayers. Down below that, we saw Booty Call, which is going to be Wookibert, taking a 2-0 over AMindInRuins, a.k.a. Gorilla. And then Death Sentence taking a 2-0 over the top of Encore. Then we moved on to the semifinals, where we're going to be seeing Phoenix versus Lion Cub. That's coming up momentarily, everybody. And then down below that, we saw Booty Call, which is going to be Wookibert, once again, going to be taking a 3-0 victory over Death Sentence in that situation. And I know that series was played, so that was actually a legitimate 3-0 there. So Death Sentence being knocked out pretty hastily by Wookibert, despite the fact that Wookibert was claiming that he's a bit rusty. So still obviously looking to be in pretty good form to be able to take out Death Sentence quite like that. But Phoenix going to be facing off against Lion Cub here. It's going to be best of 5 semifinals, and that's coming up momentarily, everybody, so be sure to stick around. All right, everybody, and welcome to game number 1 of this best of 5 semifinal series, and that brings us to the map Volcano Struggle. And spawning on the left-hand side, as the classic green vanilla GDI, we have Phoenix. And then sliding over to the right, his challenger, as the blue vanilla Nod, we have Lion Cub. So it is best of 5, so it's 3 wins to secure a place in the finals here for either one of these players, and it's going to be, once again, El Clasico, going to be GDI versus Nod. I think both of these guys chose their factions, so there's no real surprises here for either one of these guys. So I'm kind of interested to see how this one goes. I mean, Lion Cub, he's got some early game options here in the way of flame tanks and things like that, so we'll have to see if maybe we see a Reckoner or flame tanks or anything along those lines. Whatever it is that's building, it's taking a little while to build. It may not be an operations center, but it's going to be a bike coming out straight away here for a Lion Cub. I think it has been spotted by Phoenix. I'm not quite sure if he managed to get into range to actually see that. But all the same, he'll probably be expecting something. I mean, one of the things that this map is notorious for is early game rushes, just due to the fact that, I mean, it's a pretty straight shot to your opponent's base, and it's relatively short distance because the map is split kind of horizontally here as opposed to vertically in this situation. So it's going to be an early game bike rush here coming out from Lion Cub. Only 3 bikes, so nothing too crazy. Should force out a response at least from Phoenix, as that one Pitbull's not really going to be enough. May be able to take out 1 bike for its trouble, but see, I don't know where it's kind of risky here. I'm not quite sure what Lion Cub's going to go for. Kind of creeping around here, doesn't quite know where he wants to commit to. I think he left a bike behind though. Yeah, he did. But one of those bikes is going to be getting here kind of late and actually get some free damage onto the MCV. May force that to repack itself. Does force it to pack back up, but 2 bikes going down there for just a tiny bit of damage onto that MCV, as well as a tiny bit of damage onto a Pitbull. But that's going to be pulled back here by Phoenix. Nice micro there to pull that one back and get some repairs on his from his war factory, rather. 2 refineries, 3 harvesters here coming out from Lion Cub. I'm not sure if there's a harvester sitting in that. No, actually it does not look like that is the case. It looks like he allowed that harvester to come out before he powered it down. But now some Pitbulls here from Phoenix going to be looking to put some counter pressure onto Lion Cub, and there's really no response from Lion Cub to deal with it. He'll be losing 1 harvester here. It looks like he has pulled it off the line, so should be able to keep that alive with the assistance of the war factory repairs. But going to be a matter of dancing around the war factory at this point. But a lot of Pitbulls coming in here for Phoenix, and actually it's looking like the Pitbull harassment here could be enough. 1 harvester most likely going to be going down. That one will, in fact, be going down here. And it looks like a 2nd harvester could actually be getting focused down. A Raider Buggy actually coming out in response. I don't know about that decision. Raider Buggy's good in mass against Pitbulls, but they are not going to be able to take down these Pitbulls too quickly. Going to be losing 3 harvesters for his troubles, and Lion Cub just not able to keep himself alive. He's going to throw in the towel very quickly here in game number 1. A little disappointing there. I mean, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Just a really strong Pitbull harass coming out from Phoenix, being able to capitalize on the fact that Lion Cub went for those early bikes, and then just the decision to pump out those Raider Buggies as opposed to either drop a hand of Nod and maybe get out some rocket squads or something. I don't know. It seemed like it was a panic move from Lion Cub. Didn't really know how to respond to it. Maybe wasn't expecting Phoenix to really go so heavy into the Pitbull production. But anyways, Phoenix going to be picking up a quick game number 1 there on Volcano Struggle, and that's going to be sending us into game number 2, and that's coming up momentarily, everybody, so be sure to stick around. Alright everybody, and welcome to game number 2 of this best of 5 semifinal series, and that brings us to tournament decision. And spawning down in the bottom left corner as the green vanilla nod, we have Lion Cub. And then sliding on to the upper right corner as I pan way too quickly, I'm probably getting a little motion sick, as the classic blue GDI, we have Phoenix. So let me just, whoa! There you are, Lion Cub. Apparently I forgot to press enter and did not add the score, so let's get that fixed. Should be all set now, but tournament decision going to be the map of choice, and let's pull up that mini-map as well. And Lion Cub going to be down in the bottom left. So Lion Cub had map choice here. Phoenix up 1-0 in this series so far. Opts to go for tournament decision, goes nod on this map as well. So both of these players, I mean, they've got factions that are pretty good on this map. I don't know who I would give the leg up to. I mean, obviously, Juggernaut's very, very good on this map. Spectre Artillery also very good on this map. Stealth Tanks, quite good. So, honestly, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's anybody's game, really. Lion Cub was punished pretty hard last game for some early game mistakes. We'll have to see if maybe Phoenix can do the same thing and really get into Lion Cub's head, or if Lion Cub can really kind of turn things around. We kind of saw this in the first series that we saw Lion Cub in, where he was playing against RealPlayers. He dropped a game, I think he dropped either the second game or the first game, I'm not quite sure, but it went to an ace match, and I know one of those games it was just some poor decisions and just really some things that didn't work out for him. But anyways, maybe he'll have things sorted out for this game, but looking like it's going to be standard eco here for both players. It looks like eco is really the way to go here today. I don't think we've seen any rushes of any kind so far today. I think we saw, well, I guess speaking of the last game, Phoenix, or rather Lion Cub going for that 3-bike harass, but I honestly don't even consider that really a rush because it's just so minimal. One Harvester actually taking some decent damage here from that Pitbull dancing from Phoenix. He's actually doing a really nice job here of dancing around this War Factory. This is actually really good, and he's microing the Pitbull too to actually get some damage on that Harvester. May force that Harvester actually to come off the line. This is actually hilarious to watch. Just that Pitbull running around trying to take as little amount of damage from that Raider Buggy as possible. May actually get a Harvester kill here. Yeah, Lion Cub gonna have to respect the damage coming out from that one Pitbull. Will force it off the line. That's just really annoying there coming out from Phoenix. Great micro though. Great control of that single Pitbull, but all the same, there wasn't really much of a response there from Lion Cub, so maybe not giving full respect to that one Pitbull. Excuse me, sorry about that. And we will be seeing triple refinery here coming out from Phoenix. It will get spotted here by a militant squad, which is running in from the north. That will probably get gunned down. That Pitbull is still alive. Now it's doing damage to another Harvester. That Pitbull will be going down. It's still alive! Oh my god, it's going to be going down. He gets another shot off. Will he get one more shot off? He does. He gets some damage onto that Raider Buggy, but holy crap, that Pitbull. He was just sitting there microing like a I'm not even sure what I was trying to say there. Man-moded that micro. I think that's what I was trying to say, but that doesn't make any sense at all. But anyways, commentary fails aside, we see it's going to be actually this garrisonable structure getting focused down here by the Pitbull army here from Phoenix. So just trying to de-garrison these squads. It's not a bad idea. It's going to be giving them a little bit more flexibility in terms of scouting. He'll be able to send some stuff up through the middle of the map, but a little bit of bike buggy out in response from Lion Cub, looking to maybe deal with the Pitbull threat here from Phoenix. Doesn't want to necessarily allow them to just run around the map and have complete control over things, but we got double War Factory and an airfield coming out from Phoenix. Quite sure it's probably going to be Orcas. Those look like they're building way too fast to be Hammerheads. That'd be interesting. I'd kind of like to see some Orcas. No, it is going to be Hammerheads. So AP ammo on the way. It's about 2/3 of the way done. Hammerheads already on the deck here, or rather already flying around. We do see it's actually going to be a straight tech to tier 3 here for Lion Cub, so pretty common on this map where you see these guys stick around for a little bit longer in their main base. Actually, we do have a second MCV coming out from him as well, so probably going to be a multi-MCV game for Lion Cub. Would not be terribly surprised to see all kinds of obelisk pushes in this game either. Maybe Phoenix reading this, he's already got the double War Factory and Hammerhead production coming out here, and that will give him the double threat that he needs to go up against a multi-Conyard Nod player. So maybe expecting this coming out from Lion Cub. It's kind of interesting. He's going to see that Conyard, or rather the MCV, moving for the expand right now. And if he keeps going into the original main base of Lion Cub, he should be able to get eyes on the other MCV and realize that it's not the original MCV there. Does not actually get that Pitbull into the base, though. However, the Hammerheads are coming in now. There's no stealth detection here for Phoenix, so he's going to be relegated to actually focusing down any units that expose themselves. But we did see one of the harvesters going down while it was docked. Power does go down now as he's focusing down the upgraded power plants here from Lion Cub. This could actually be devastating. That's actually a lot of damage output. Forces the sell-off of one of the refineries here. And Phoenix is going to try to get away with these Hammerheads, and he's actually has really good protection from the support of these Predator tanks. Just so good against that bike buggy. And all those Hammerheads still alive here for Phoenix. What's going on the other side of things? It looks like the Tiberium Catalyst missile was actually called in, destroyed that refinery for Phoenix, and actually I think he's used a decoy army on a harvester as well to just get over there. But rocket squad's coming out from Lion Cub in response to try to deal with this. And yeah, the Hammerheads should be coming over there to try to kill off those rocket squads, because these Predator tanks are really the main damage threat right now. Great power micro coming, or rather power destruction here coming out from Phoenix. He may have actually caught Lion Cub with his pants down. Honestly, this is looking like it's going to be a quick game number 2. And great move here from Phoenix to go for the double war factory and airfield option here. He's going to be able to focus down all of these structures, takes out the majority of the harvesting here from Lion Cub. I actually don't think he has any harvesters left. It looks like he has one harvester left. His rocket squad's going to get focused down now. That Black Hand squad doing very negligible amounts of damage. And now the MCV under fire here. That construction yard will be going down. And honestly, I don't think Phoenix has lost even a single Hammerhead yet. There is still this base here from Lion Cub at the expansion, and it has been radar scanned here by Phoenix. He realizes that it is here. Seeing that Lion Cub hasn't tapped out, he expects that there's something at the expansion. But there's no tier 2, so there's very little in the way of anti-air defenses here from Lion Cub. So honestly, Phoenix could just roll in here and just clean up all these units before Lion Cub is really able to mass up a defense. I'm not quite sure what his plan is here, to be honest. He's been set way behind. Phoenix already on his way to his Marv. That's actually coming out right now here on the front lines. Sells off the Reclamator hub, and that may actually signal the surrender here from Lion Cub. He has no way of dealing with that. Only a single war factory now down for production. Actually a Hand of Nod as well, but only a 1 refinery and I think 1 harvester left. So Lion Cub looking to be in very rough shape here in this game. I don't know what his plan really is. He's not ready to give up just yet, so maybe going to be forcing Phoenix just to actually kill this off. Maybe just not expecting that Phoenix has much follow-up after that attack that he did a moment ago, but he still has the majority of those forces left over. Interestingly enough, these Predator tanks are actually going to get chased down by some militant squads, but they will get away. Actually standing on Tiberium there, that's not good for their health. Decent number of rocket squads out now from Lion Cub. Should actually be able to hold the line pretty well against the Marv if it comes in on its own. They will be taking pretty heavy losses, and actually, interestingly enough, Phoenix going to be harvesting his own field, so maybe thinking that just wants to get that quick cash boost just to get out some additional units, maybe just to steamroll through Lion Cub here, maybe not wanting to take this into a later portion of the game. Looks like sniper teams are going to be coming out from Phoenix, at least I have to imagine that's what that airdrop is coming in. Yeah, that's going to be the call out from Phoenix, and we do have the Marv coming forward. Double railgun, double engineer Marv. We do have pitbulls with mortars on the back side of things. They should be coming forward and actually focusing down the militant rocket squads, and we do have the Hammerheads coming forward as well. And once all these rocket squads go down, that's probably going to be it. They are focusing down the Hammerheads, but honestly, it's going to be a little too late. And yeah, the entire army of Lion Cub has been completely cleaned up here. Would not be terribly shocked to see the surrender here coming in from Lion Cub. But the MCV is coming forward for Phoenix as well. So that's going to be it. Lion Cub going to be surrendering out of this game, and Phoenix is up 2-0. So Phoenix taking, again, a commanding victory in that game as well. So looking very, very on point today, just making the right decisions here with the transitions and really dictating the pace of the game. So Lion Cub opting not to go aggressive in this game. That did not pay off for him either. So Lion Cub probably a little bit shaken here as far as what to do. Phoenix is looking pretty strong here in these last 2 games, so we'll have to see if Phoenix can clean things up here in game number 3, or if Lion Cub can start the miracle comeback here in game number 3, and that's coming up momentarily, everybody, so be sure to stick around. Alright everybody, and welcome to game number 3 of this best of 5 semifinal series, and that brings us to the map tournament, Dust Bowl. And spawning in the top of the map, the man that's sitting pretty on 2-0 in this series so far as the red GDI, we have Phoenix. And down on the bottom, man that's in a do-or-die situation here as the green Black Hand, we have Lion Cub. As stated, it's 2-0 in favor of Phoenix right now. He just needs to claim this victory in this game here, and that will secure himself a spot in the finals. On the other side of the coin, Lion Cub going to be looking to fight his way back into the series here in this game, opting to go Black Hand this time around instead of that classic nod, so maybe having some early game ideas in his brain here. We'll have to see how things shake out here. Honestly, I would like to see a Reckoner rush. It's definitely building too fast to be a refinery. So that is going to be some kind of a flame rush coming out from Lion Cub. Meanwhile, it looks like Phoenix has managed to grab his Tiberium Spike on the left-hand side. No problem whatsoever, despite Lion Cub's attempt to snipe the engineer there. Lion Cub on the other side of things, did he send an engineer actually up to capture this Tiberium Spike? No, he did not. Going for that early flame rush, sometimes it's better not to send out an engineer, but all the same, if this game goes on for too much longer, that's going to be just a larger economy advantage in favor of Phoenix. So this Flame Reckoner or Flame Tank needs to really start paying some dividends for him in the near future. But early Pitbull Scout coming out from Phoenix, going to be getting good eyes on this, and he should have plenty of time to react to it. Says, okay, I see the Operation Center, see the second Operation Center. It is going to be a Flame Tank coming out, so will be more than likely a Flame Tank and a Reckoner. And honestly, it's going to be a tough situation here for the Lion Cub. There is the Reckoner, and where's the cell up? There it is. So Reckoner going to be a dual Black Hand Reckoner coming out for Lion Cub. There is a Flame Tank out on the map as well. So Phoenix, he's got perfect vision of this, and he should be looking to shut this down. That Flame Tank has made its way off the left-hand side. May just be used to flame down this Tiberium Spike. That would not be a terrible use of it right now, but not going to be making it much further than this. Going to be de-garrisoning that squad. Should honestly just turn the turrets and focus down that Tiberium Spike. He looks like he's going to do that now. It's going to be close, though. I don't think oh no, he does have enough damage. It looks like the Raider Buggies are enough to chase away those pit bulls. So going to be giving up that Tiberium Spike, but may be happy enough to sit here with the protection of the double refinery here. Now it's just going to be up to Phoenix to keep his refineries alive. Drops the Reckoner here. It's going to be preventing that from getting too close. Instantly drops a Tiberium Silo, so going to be blocking that out. And honestly, there's enough damage here coming out from Phoenix to stop this, no problem. Could not be losing a refinery here. It's going to be close. So is the de-garrison going to come out? If the de-garrison comes out, it may be enough. The Harvester's actually been pulled off the line to crush these guys. He does not want to allow that refinery to go down. Extremely good micro coming out from Phoenix. Manages to kill off all these squads. There is actually still a member of that Black Hand squad still alive there. Just hanging out. It looks like Phoenix has realized that. He's going to go ahead and gun it down with the Harvester guns there. So now all of those pit bulls should be able to turn and fire on Lion Cub, and this could be bad for Lion Cub, but he doesn't really have much to stop this. There's only 3 or 4 pit bulls. It looks like he's maybe respecting the fact that there may be additional flame tanks around the map, but that's not going to be the case. Only a couple. Oh, actually, no, there is a flame tank still here for Lion Cub on the left-hand side, and does Phoenix have anything to respond to this with? He really doesn't at the moment. It looks like all of his pit bulls are pretty much out of position. That pit bulls will be coming in. They should be able to shut down. Yeah, instant repair coming out on that refinery. Going to be keeping that alive. No problem. Silo block as well. So really good control there from Phoenix to keep that stuff alive. One Harvester in the meantime going down for Lion Cub. So the counterattack from Phoenix is real. So he has a couple of Confessor Cabal squads to deal with, but I'm sure he's feeling pretty good about taking out that one Harvester. I mean, he wants to exert a little bit of economy damage there onto Lion Cub, while maybe just realizing that he's not going to be able to escape. He's going to try to get some damage on that upgraded power plant. They just leave that as a ripe target later on in the game. But meanwhile, we do have 6 Harvesters out for Phoenix at this point in time. Should be sending over one of his Harvesters to his expansion. He's actually powered down his refinery, and this Harvester is going to go for the long trek back. A little bit of a mistake there. He's going to go ahead and micro that back. He was probably dealing with stuff elsewhere. What else do we have going on here? So Lion Cub, he's not out of this one yet. He's got his expansion up and running. He's already got a refinery down. So despite going for that really early game Flame Tank and Reckoner rush, he's not been shut down too hard. It's actually forced out a repair on this power plant here, but these pit bulls are still alive. They should be able to trade out with these Raider Buggies, but over time, once those Raider Buggies start massing up, they will be able to defeat the pit bulls if they are left in small enough numbers. But a couple of pit bulls here just still getting some more scouting information and just getting a little bit of damage onto Harvesters, and every little bit of damage is just something that can be followed up on later in the game. So we'll have to see if Phoenix can actually capitalize on that later. So actually Command Post coming down, so it's quick AP ammo for him. Realizing that he has map control, he can go ahead and exert that by out the AP ammo, maybe expecting oh jeez, what's the word I'm looking for? Hand of Nod, that's the word I'm looking for. Oh my goodness. Fail commentary. I think he was expecting, you know, like a triple or quadruple Hand of Nod follow-up from Lion Cub. But anyways, I mean, it's a good idea to get that AP ammo upgrade done early. Operation Center coming down for Lion Cub as well. It looks like he wants to go for that multi-Conyard push again, so despite the fact that it was shut down really hard by Phoenix last game, he's going to attempt to do it again this time around. But I mean, Phoenix, he's already in a position to potentially stop this again. He's got double War Factory. He could drop an airfield and do the same exact strategy as he did last game, going for Hammerheads supported by Predator tanks, and it's just so good against double MCV, especially when they don't have tier 3. Fanatics coming out, they're going to get gunned down there by the AP ammo APCs. Or 2 MCVs here for Lion Cub at the present time. He's pumping out Scorpion tanks as well. No tier 3 just yet, probably being produced as we speak, as that's really the power of the multi-Conyard as you start getting out Obelisk and then eventually the upgraded charged particle beams on the Shredder turrets. But Shredder turret's going to be coming down all the same. It's like mines being used on these APCs, or rather by the APCs, going to be trying to thin out these forces, and he should be able to clean up all of these forces. And now these Harvesters are ripe for the picking here for Phoenix. Should be able to clean these guys up, no problem. Again, a couple of them damaged from the Pitbull harassment earlier on. See a couple of Confessor Cabal squads moving across the left-hand side of the map. I thought maybe those were flame tanks or something, or even just a cheeky engineer. Doesn't look like that's the case, but a lot of Harvesters here going down for Lion Cub, and this actually is really bad for him. That's all of his harvesting really right now going to be completely taken out, and Phoenix once again looking like he's made the right decision here as far as transitions go, going for that AP ammo, going for the tier 1 spam. Going to be just capitalizing on the fact that Phoenix, or rather Lion Cub, went for a multi-Conyard, but an Obelisk is down, and that will be forcing Phoenix to at least choose what he wants to engage into. Should be able to clean up the majority of the outskirts of this infrastructure, though. Is going to be able to clean up another War Factory as well, and that's not too bad whatsoever. Doesn't want to engage into that Obelisk. Well, he could probably take it out. He'd take pretty significant losses. Does lose an APC. He's going to go ahead and pull back now, but there's a couple of airfields down here for Phoenix, and yeah, exactly what I was thinking. I mean, dual Conyard, the way to beat that is just mix up your unit types and just go air and ground, and it's very difficult for Lion Cub to respond to that and be of any use, because he spent so much money on building extra MCVs and getting that tier 3 so early. So Orca is going to be a really big threat here as the game looms on a little bit longer. Looks like they're just camping out this expansion field. There are 7 Orcas here. I'm not sure where the 8th one is. Looks like it may be rallying down as we speak, but all the same, they're going to be coming in here. Should be able to poke down a couple of these power plants and really just lighten the load here for our ground forces from Phoenix. Power is down here for Lion Cub, and that's probably going to signal the surrender. GG's coming in from Lion Cub, and that's going to be it. Phoenix going to be taking the game and the series 3-0. So Phoenix looking to be in pretty fine form here today as he dispatches Lion Cub 3-0 in three very convincing victories. Not really struggling whatsoever. He gets that lead early and then just continues to make the right decisions as the game goes on. So big shout out to Phoenix for taking a 3-0 victory there. But again, a nice effort there from Lion Cub. Got to give him credit for definitely trying to put on the heat with the black hand at the end of the game there. But all the same, that's going to be it for this series, and that's going to wrap up our semifinals. The finals are coming up momentarily, everybody, and it's going to be Phoenix versus Wookibert, as I'm not quite sure what I was trying to say before. That's going to be a best-of-7 series, and that's coming up next, everybody, so be sure to stick around. Alright, hello everybody and welcome to game number 1 of our best of 7 finals for the community tournament 1 vs 1, hosted proudly by GameReplays.org, and that brings us to the map Pipeline Nightmares. And spawning in the top, and we haven't seen yet today, spawning as the blue black hand of Wookibert. And sliding on down to the bottom of the map as the green vanilla GDI, we have Phoenix. Give me just 1 second here to fix my scoreboard because I already realized that something is out of whack. Get that fixed. There we go. Should be all set. There we go. Pipeline Nightmare is going to be the map for game number 1, and it's an interesting map at that. I mean, if you guys are familiar with pipeline problems, obviously this field is generally a blue field. There's also a bit of terrain here to block that off. It's usually pretty easily defended, whereas now it's a large green field. It's usually a quick expand over there, or rather a first expansion over in that direction due to the fact that that field is so close. But be a little bit more open to harassment, may actually make these towers a little bit more useful here, as we do actually have a Tiberian spike in the middle as well. So interesting map design all the same. Predator has done a very nice job with this, as I believe this was one of his maps. It'd be kind of silly if it wasn't. I might be wrong, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it is, though. Pitbull coming out from Phoenix, going to be looking to get eyes on Wookibert. Obviously doesn't want to allow him to go for any kind of a flame rush, which is exactly what he is doing. He's going for that flame rush. Has D-Garrison's the Black Hand Squad's going to try to kill that Pitbull. Gets it really low on HP, but sends that Reckoner all the way back to base to get repairs. A couple of bikes out to deal with the Pitbull harass coming out from Phoenix. Phoenix, I mean, he was able to shut down the early game flame tank rush coming out from Lionka, but it looks like Wookibert's a little bit more informed as far as how to stop the harassment from the Pitbulls. Be up to Wookibert to get those that Reckoner into the base of Phoenix safely. Looks like he wants to commit in just yet, so he may actually choose to hold on to that Reckoner. Honestly, looks like he's actually going to go ahead and send that down to the expansion. Phoenix must be expecting something, though. I mean, he has to be expecting that those that Reckoner is still out there somewhere. Going now by 4 bikes here, and that Reckoner should actually be able to get into this expansion no problem. Doesn't look like there's anything ready to drop here for Phoenix just yet. Wookibert just waiting on the outskirts, trying to find an opportunity to move in. He wants to go ahead and probably focus down a refinery or a war factory. He doesn't necessarily want to be focusing down the MCV because it's just going to pack up and run away. He is going to move in for the MCV, so he is going to get in right next to the MCV, forces the laser fencing to come out from Phoenix, and Phoenix, I mean, he's not ready to pack this one up. May actually go ahead and deploy a barracks on the other side of the MCV, but actually, since it's laser fenced, I don't think he can actually repair with a barracks, so he may actually be losing his MCV here. There are 5 Pitbulls focusing it down, but dual Black Hand just does so much damage. And, oh, it's gonna get messy here for him. Bikes facing off against Pitbulls here on the right-hand side. It looks like there is an airfield down for Phoenix. That was that tier 2 that we saw. Reckoner's taking a lot of damage, but it's dishing out a ridiculous amount against this Reckoner, and we'll probably be able to get it down low enough so that these guys can actually de-garrison. They are going to de-garrison and try to focus it down. The MCV actually packs up and is going to go for the crush move here, but that's a lot of damage that's been done to that MCV, and it's forced out a pretty significant response here from Phoenix, so it's probably paid for itself. The MCV goes down! There's no way to stop it, and that is a big pickup there for Wookibert. And that should be giving him a pretty significant economy lead. And the question is he going to be able to survive the counterattack here from Phoenix? So the tables are going to turn here any moment. Wookibert is actually trying to run away with these Black Hand Squads, but they're going to get chased down here by a Hammerhead. It looks like APMO is not yet done, probably struggling for cash here. That looks like it's on the way. Definitely not completed just yet. Pitbull's into the base, or rather the expansion of Wookibert, going to be looking to return a little bit of economy damage to him. And he should be able to take out 1 Harvester, maybe, not quite sure. Do have the Hammerheads coming in as well. 1 Harvester will be going down, but trading out Pitbull after Pitbull here, as we do have a decent number of Raider Buggies as well as Confessor Cabal squads. Maybe enough to do quite a bit of damage here to Phoenix. So Phoenix is actually pretty far behind here. He's actually already rebuilt his MCV, probably was already queuing that while it was being destroyed, realizing that there was no real way to save it, but wanted to force the commitment out of Wookibert to actually destroy it. Now that Hammerhead's actually going to get chased down here by the Raider Buggy here from Wookibert, so manages to go veteran status. AP ammo is done. Actually, great mine drop. Takes out a bike, I believe, or it may have been a Raider Buggy very, very quickly, but Raider Buggies do have stealth detection, so they will be able to kill off the remainder of those mines. And now Bike Buggy here headed into the expansion of Phoenix, so Wookibert not allowing Phoenix to really get rolling on this expansion, and he should be able to spiral out of control here in terms of economy if he allows that to go on for too much longer. MCV on the move here for Wookibert as well. He's expanding off to the right. I don't know about that decision. I mean, he's going to be headed in here. Maybe he's looking to get a refinery on this blue Tiberium field. Could actually set up a refinery like maybe in this area and get refining on both of those blue Tiberium fields, but that's pretty risky. I'm thinking he's probably just expecting this to be more like the standard pipeline problems map, where the green Tiberium expansions are actually over in this area here, but not going to be the case on this map. What else do we have coming out? Actually, we do have a Saboteur coming out, more than likely going for the Tiberium spike here. The watchtower is probably not going to be the best use, or rather defensive towers. Not going to be the best use of that engineer, at least not early on. APM watchtower is extremely good at dealing with bike harassment as they focus them down very, very quickly, but so the support of the Predator tanks here are going to be enough to force those bikes to fall back. But honestly, it's just Wookibert trying to exert his map control here. It's actually going to force out more and more watchtower drops from Phoenix. There is a crane down as well. He could actually turn and focus that down. That wouldn't be a terrible idea, seeing that there aren't any harvesters here. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and focus that down. That's a good idea. That's so easily destroyed, and it's just it's a production facility that he doesn't have to worry about Phoenix having control of. Meanwhile, we have some harassment here. No, it's just a couple of rifleman squads that have made their way around the side of the map here for Phoenix. Now we have, looks like Bike Buggy going to be engaging into Predator tanks here, and they're going to get absolutely smashed by the Predator tanks, joined by the APM watchtowers. And it looks like Wookibert's not really sure where he wants to go with this Bike Buggy. I think now he realizes that he's overextended. He's going to go ahead, cut and run with what he's got left, and he's going to try to mass up in the middle of the map. So, again, Wookibert, he's just got some pretty significant map control right now. He's already got 2 refineries on his next expansion. Phoenix only now dropping his 2nd refinery on this expansion. So yeah, Wookibert is way ahead in terms of economy right now. A couple of Predator tanks have made their way all the way around the outskirts of the map, have managed to make it into the expansion of Wookibert. I don't think they've actually taken out any harvesters, though. They do trade out a couple of bikes, but bikes for Predator tanks, definitely not a worthwhile trade. Not sure where the MCV is headed. It looks like it was just packed up and moved a little bit for some base defense radius here for Phoenix. Airfield is down. Not sure if that was the original one, but it is back down here for Phoenix, so not ready to give up on the air transition here. Made it work in the last couple of games. We'll have to see if he can maybe transition here and make it work this time around. A couple of harvesters going to be going down here, and Phoenix, realizing that he's just so far behind, he's going to go ahead and throw in the towel, and Wookibert is up 1-0. So powerful game number 1 coming out from Wookibert. Phoenix tried to stop that Reckoner, but I mean, he did a good job of keeping it off of his refineries, but unfortunately lost his MCV for the trouble, and Wookibert just took that opportunity to get out of control in terms of economy, and then just continue to spiral that by shutting down the expansion from Phoenix. So Phoenix, he had an interesting idea to go for those the Pred APs, or rather the Pred Hammerhead, but unfortunately it was not able to pay dividends for him in this game. So Wookibert going to be up 1-0 in his best of 7 series. It's still anybody's game here coming up in game number 2, and that's coming up right now, everybody, so be sure to stick around. Hello everybody and welcome to game number 2 of this best of 7 final series, and that brings us to the map Tournament Arena. And spawning in the upper left hand corner as the Cyan Black Hand, we have Wookibert. The man that's down 0-1 in this series so far. Spawning down in the bottom right corner as the orange GDI, we have Phoenix. So Tournament Arena going to be the map of choice here for Phoenix. He did drop that game in the last one. Just make sure that he is in fact GDI. Yes, he is. I kind of assumed it was, but quite sure. All the same, we are going to be seeing just some early game scouts coming out from both players. Wookibert, I mean, definitely primed to go for that double Black Hand Reckoner once again. It's something that's very effective on this map just due to the fact that there's a pretty short rush distance, and honestly, it's a pretty wide open map. You couldn't really ask for a more flat map than Tournament Arena. That's why I like it a lot. I think it's fun. Makes it pretty easy to move units in and out. But all the same, Wookibert got some scouts around the edges of the map here. He's actually doing a great job of anti-scouting with Phoenix, and that should actually be signaling to Phoenix that there's probably something headed his way. Yeah, he's already got a pitbull out. Realizes that Wookibert is most likely intending to rush. Yep, and there is the operation center, so it is going to be some type of flame rush. Probably going to be a dual Black Hand Flame Reckoner again. Because it's just so deadly here against GDI players. But there is a watchtower down. It looks like it was to deal with a Confessor Cabal squad, but I think it was dropped a little bit preemptively there, as that the Confessor Cabal squad will get away. Now this Reckoner is trying to juke out any follow-up from Phoenix, but I don't think Phoenix has actually got eyes on the fact that there is this Reckoner here. He's probably expecting that there's something coming out, so maybe producing some Predator tanks to deal with it. Yeah, one Predator tank comes out, but honestly, he could potentially be losing a refinery because of this. Reckoner is rolling in here. There's only one Predator tank to really stop it, and if that Reckoner is able to get in range, he should be able to deploy right next to one of the refineries. He's actually going to go ahead and probably deploy next to the War Factory. Yeah, he's actually going to deploy on the War Factory. He's going to focus that down. That's not a bad idea at all. I mean, focus down the War Factory, just deny any follow-up from Phoenix to actually destroy this. We'll get the War Factory no problem, but a second War Factory comes down for Phoenix. You should be able to building block out this refinery and be able to keep that alive. More than likely a Tiberium silo on the way. It's going to be close, though. He needs to drop that Tiberium silo, and he needs to drop it now. There it goes. That Reckoner will go down. The degarrison does happen, but immediately they are going to get focused down here, as we do see the Harvester being pulled off the line. Oh, the refinery taking a lot of damage. Is it going to be enough? It's not going to be enough. No, there is still a Black Hand squad here. Kind of building blocking himself here with his Tiberium silo. He finally does sell that up. It's not going to be enough damage, though, to take out that refinery. It's going to be close. That Black Hand squad is still alive. Finally, that Black Hand squad does go down. So one War Factory and a tremendous amount of damage onto that refinery, forcing out a ton of base defenses and Tiberium silos in order to stop it. So nice move there from Wookibert. He's actually going to immediately transition to infantry and probably going to, I mean, he could potentially go all in infantry at this point. Would be pretty risky, but he's got double Hand of Nod here, so not going for any type of an expansion. Doesn't want to necessarily capitalize on that. He's got triple Hand of Nod. It may just be a straight up all in. If I see another Hand of Nod coming, that will definitely be the case, but Pitbull comes in. It will get a scout off, so may actually be the reason why he's keeping his MCV around. He's going to actually go ahead and sell up that Hand of Nod, realizing that Pitbull's actually got quite a bit of really important scouting information here for Phoenix. So that was critical. Very good on Phoenix to get that scouting information right now, particularly at this stage in the game. But that's a lot of infantry, and they already have the Black Hand, or rather Black Disciples upgrade coming in from Wookibert. So he's already packed up, gone for the expand. It's usually pretty quick to expand to your middle Tiberium field, and then they could obviously be leeching blue Tiberium as well. The infantry is going to come forward. It's going to be looking to pressure the construction yard, and no tier 2 coming down. Oh, actually, no, the tier 2 is down. APM was already done, and we have a Shatterer tank here on the front lines as well. Laser fencing coming down as well, so Phoenix will be able to hold this off no problem. So immediately reading that it was going to be an infantry transition here from Wookibert, maybe just blind reading it. Going to be able to stop that completely in its tracks. We'll be losing a watchtower, but sells that off, gets the Rifleman squad for his troubles and a little bit of cash back in his pocket, but that Shatterer tank actually doing a pretty good amount of damage. We'll get focused down. Watchtower is going to be trying to stopgap this. You have an airfield being dropped as more or less a building block here for the Watchtowers. It's pretty inexpensive to build those airfields, even though the units that they build are pretty expensive. Chatterer tank getting focused down by the rocket squad's a pretty smart move. Predator tank's actually getting in, getting pretty good crushes right now, getting a lot of rocket squads, but there's a ton of rocket squad follow-up here from Wookibert. Is he all in? He's not all in. He does have one hand of nod that's streaming units forward, and Phoenix may be thinking that this is an all in. I'm not quite sure. That may be what he's trying to force Phoenix to believe. But that's still a decent number of rocket squads. They can turn and fight this, I think. That's only a few APCs. Honestly, can focus those guys down, and then the Rifleman squad army here should get focused down very quickly as well. And I think one or two Black Hand squads mixed in there could actually do a lot of damage because they have a lot of tank ability, but all the same, it's going to be Phoenix not happy about Black Hand. And I have to sympathize with him a little bit, being a person that plays primarily GDI, but hey, I mean, it is what it is. You just got to know how to stop it. We know a decent number of players out there do know how to stop it, and Phoenix is actually doing a pretty nice job, maybe not realizing that he's got a decent grip on this game, but I mean, it is starting to spiral a little bit out of control for him as Wookibert's just continuing to stream infantry forward. He already has his second refinery down. Meanwhile, Phoenix is having to expend a lot of units to try to stop this. Honestly, maybe double Conyard watchtower drops. I'm not quite sure how you really stop this, to be honest. It's very, very difficult. We do see more and more of those watchtowers being dropped. Power plants on the front lines as well. AP ammo APCs coming forward, going to be trying desperately to stop this, but it's just a matter of trading here for Wookibert. As long as he can trade those very cost-effective infantry units against Phoenix's APCs, it's going to be paying for themselves here. So Bikes on the back lines here are going to be looking to do a little bit of damage to these harvesters. Should be able to take out one harvester by the looks of it. That one will be going down. Oh, so very close. That one will finally go down. One more shot from the bikes will take it out, and those three bikes will escape with their lives. But it looks like the onslaught from Wookibert has slowed to a stop here. Oh, Phoenix. Not happy with the way this one is going. Salty_Phoenix this time around. Again, can't really blame him. The little bit disappointing to have to deal with it, but hey, I mean, this is the faction matchup that you chose, man. Can't really complain too much about it. But all the same, it's going to be more and more rocket squads coming out from Wookibert. It's going to be operations centered down as well. He's already up to tier 3, so could be seeing a switch into a base push here coming out from Wookibert in the near future. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, particularly due to the fact that he's set Phoenix pretty far behind. Phoenix still no tech to speak of. I think he actually sold up his tier 2 as well. No, he still has his tier 2. Could be seeing Shatterer tanks out on the field, but yeah, Phoenix is just in straight up defense mode right now. He'll still have his Tiberium spike, so Wookibert not really abusing the map pressure too much. But one click's coming in. That's probably not going to be making Phoenix too happy, as we do see that refinery going down. Dirty one clicks as we see that go down, and another harvester going down as well. So you can see that Phoenix is getting a little bit more frustrated as this game goes along. Bert staying silent for the most part, though. He's maybe just trying to get into the head of Phoenix. See some bikes returning. I think they were from pulling off a couple of harvesters earlier in the game. But Hammerhead going to be going down there, so it looks like there is an airfield back down for Phoenix. Going to be trying desperately to deal with this infantry. And the bike's going to be coming in again, looking for some harvesters here. APC could potentially mine drop these guys and drop it down, but no, they will get focused down here. We do have actually that Hammerhead doing a really nice job of cleaning up all the infantry here, but now there are bikes attacking these harvesters. One harvester will be going down. Oh, dirty one clicks as we see Wookibert dropping Tiberium Vein detonation. Will he get any harvesters for his trouble, though? No, he does not. But two harvesters very heavily damaged. Should be getting focused down pretty quickly here. Actually, no, the bikes changing targets, loses all of his bikes without actually taking out any of those harvesters. 3 harvesters very heavily damaged. We have another one click. It's going to be a Tiberium Vapor Bomb. No way of stopping this for Phoenix. He's actually going to sell up his refinery. Keeps all of those harvesters alive, so a little bit of damage control there from Phoenix. Unfortunately, another bike rolling up. Should be able to, or rather a couple bikes rolling up. Should be able to clean up all 3 of those harvesters. And that may signal the surrender here from Phoenix, as he just simply doesn't have the follow-up to finish things off. He also has vision of the fact that there is a Redeemer engineering facility on the map for Wookibert as well. So probably going to be signaling the surrender here from Phoenix. Not sure if he's ready to give up just yet. He doesn't have a refinery on the map, and doesn't look like he has enough economy to actually build one either. So it just forced Wookibert to actually destroy everything in order to get him out of this game. A couple of hammerheads, maybe the last line of, or rather the last hope for Phoenix. SAM turret will get a pretty good shot off, though, and will manage to damage it pretty significantly. Looks like a refinery will be able to be built here for Phoenix. He will drop it here on the front lines as well. Now the follow-up from Wookibert, what's it going to be? That Redeemer is going to be coming out here any minute, as it's about halfway, 2/3 done, depending on how you look at it. But not sure where that Harvester's going. Looks like he's headed down here. I don't know about that decision. I mean, if anything, you want to send it up to grab some blue Tiberium, but honestly, Phoenix, he must realize that this game is over. I'm sure he understands it better than most, but he's trying to keep the dream alive. I mean, it's possible to come back, I guess, if you can just out-trade in every situation, but I very much doubt that Wookibert is going to allow that to happen. This is dangerous territory for Phoenix as he drops 2 of his refineries close together. Not sure what the countdown is on that Tiberium Catalyst missile. No, actually, Wookibert has sold up his Tib Chem plant, so that's not on the cards for him at all. See just a lone rifleman squad going to be trying to contend against this infantry army here from Wookibert, supported by the Redeemer, which has a single flame and engineer garrison. This is looking like it's going to be the slow push to victory here for Wookibert. Phoenix, realizing that he doesn't even necessarily want to see this, he's going to go ahead and throw in the towel. Wookibert is going to be up 2-0 in this series. So, again, a commanding victory coming out from Wookibert. I mean, you have to say it's very, very difficult to see somebody getting one-clicked twice, actually 3 times when you factor in the Tiberium Vapor Bomb, despite the fact that he didn't really do much aside from taking out the refinery. But man, Wookibert, I think he's in the head of Phoenix right now. We may see actually a faction change coming out from Phoenix in response, just realizing that maybe his GDI tactics aren't really working out to counter this black hand play coming in from Wookibert. But anyways, that's going to be it for game number 2. Game number 3 is going to be coming up momentarily, everybody, so be sure to stick around. Hello everybody and welcome to game number 3 of this best of 7 final series, and that brings us to the map Twisted Arena. And spawning in the upper left corner, man, it's coming off of a pretty significant loss in the last 2 games here. Not feeling too great going forward here. As the red GDI, we have Phoenix. And then the guy that's looking to be in pretty prime form here today, playing as the dirty cyan black hand. Down in the bottom right, we have Wookibert. It's 2-0 in favor of Wookibert right now. Twisted Arena going to be the map choice here for Phoenix. I like this map choice a lot. Should be very interesting. Phoenix, interestingly enough, sticking with GDI. Says, hey, you know, I'm going to make it work here. And we'll have to see if maybe he can keep the dream alive here for those of us that enjoy the GDI faction. I know I'm one of them. We'll have to see if maybe he can make something happen here in this game. We've seen Wookibert. He's gone for that Flame Reckoner twice in a row here. Is it going to be 3 times a lady? It doesn't look like it's going to be the case. That's probably going to be a refinery. No, actually, it's building a little too quickly. I think it is going to be a Flame Reckoner. Yep, there goes the Operations Center. So Phoenix is probably expecting it. I mean, he has to be. It's going to be a Flame Opener here for Wookibert. Terribly shocking, but it is going to be a Harvester out for Phoenix. Does he already have a Pitbull out on the map? He does not. Okay, there is the Pitbull. I thought for a second that he didn't have one out on the map yet, but going to be moving through the middle of the map. But both of those, oh no, it is going to be just a single Black Hand squad this time around, so may just be trying to get into the head of Phoenix. But Phoenix, he's going to be rolling into this base. He's going to see no second refinery, so he's going to say, yep, here comes the Flame Rush. Let's go find that Reckoner now. And yeah, he's going to be seeing it now. Probably banging his hands on the keyboard saying, oh, Reckoner again. This time it is just a single Black Hand squad, so not too much to be worried about. We'll be seeing that Reckoner cruising through the right-hand side of the map here as we do deal with a little bit of lag. It's just infantry standing on Tiberium in a couple of different locations. Pitbull doing a little bit of damage here to the Harvester. Forces out a single Shredder turret cell, and that's going to be enough to signal the retreat here for Phoenix. Actually, we'll be getting vision on the fact that there is a Hand of Nod drop here from Wookibert as well. So we'll have to see if that can end up working out for him. Actually, Operations Center under fire here from that single Black Hand squad in the Reckoner. He's actually going to go ahead and change targets, maybe expecting that there was going to be a... yeah, I don't know about the changing targets here. He could have focused down that Operations Center, or rather the command post. But it looks like the refinery actually getting a laser fencing, so he's just trying to force out the unequal trade here, as we do see 2 laser fences being dropped. He tried to take out a power plant, may actually get another power plant, but no, the Predator tanks will run them over. But three Predator tanks forces the sell-off of the command post, forces out 2 laser fences. That's a pretty significant investment there to stop this, and now Wookibert's going to follow up with infantry, so it looks like Wookibert's got Phoenix's number here in this game, as he's going to just continue to put the pressure on him and force out these unequal trades for Phoenix. Wookibert, he's going to be rolling forward with this infantry. I think they already have that infantry upgrade, yeah, so the Confessor, or rather the Black Disciples, I always forget the name of that, going to be rolling forward, and it's actually going to be a base push here for Wookibert by the looks of it. He may just try to get up into this area here so he can put some pressure on this expansion from Phoenix. That wouldn't be the worst idea in the world, but Phoenix, he's going to have eyes on the fact that there is infantry here, and he's going to see the infantry upgrades as well, and try to get away with that Rifleman squad, but it doesn't appear as though the Confessor Cabal squad is too fussed about dealing with it. Not sure what's going on down here. There was a little bit of battle markers going on. Don't look like there's really much left going on, but that Confessor Cabal squad will finally take out that Rifleman squad. Going to be dual Hands of Nod on the front lines here for Wookibert, and it looks like he may just continue to move forward. Sniper team's out from Phoenix. That's actually a pretty smart move, but only 1 sniper team. It's going to take a long time for them to focus this down. 3 sniper teams actually out on the map here. He should actually be able to thin this force pretty significantly if he's able to sit them on the back lines, allow the watchtowers and the Predator tanks to really soak up the damage. So actually, Phoenix, he may have figured out how to stop this. We'll have to see. But no, those sniper teams are going to get focused down here by the Confessor Cabal squads, and that's why you don't see that all that often. But there are 2 sniper teams sitting on the back side of things here. The Predator tanks are going to move in for the crush, so it's buying those sniper teams time to just get some free shots, but take a very long time to actually focus down this infantry. Now it is just going to be continual building blocks coming out from Phoenix, trying desperately to keep his MCV alive. I don't know that he's necessarily got enough sniper teams at this point in time to actually stop all of his infantry, but those sniper teams are very expensive in comparison to this infantry. The construction yard is being melted down here for Phoenix. That could be going down. It most certainly will be. And the MCV is gone here for Phoenix. So this infantry, despite the fact that they've been getting absolutely obliterated by these sniper teams, they've managed to take out the MCV from Phoenix, and that is probably going to be giving them enough of an economy advantage to just absolutely spiral out of control. So Wookibert really abusing the Black Hand today and just showing just how strong they are. We haven't seen them too much in recent games or tournaments, but man, they are absolutely showing how punishing they can be in this game. But now the sniper team's going to get gunned down by a couple of Raider buggies here, and that's pretty massive. MCV already back out on the field here for Phoenix. Not going to get crushes on those Raider buggies. I don't think he can actually crush Raider buggies. I don't quite know. It seems like the MCV should be able to run them over. Heroic Raider buggy. That's going to be really annoying to deal with, as we do see he's getting essentially free kills on those sniper teams. All of those sniper teams do go down, so now it actually could just be a straight up hand of nod production coming out from Wookibert and just send out more and more of those rocket squads, knowing that, yeah, the sniper teams that have already been produced have been focused down. A couple of Predator tanks out for Phoenix in response, but he's going to be very disappointed to see that it is once again more infantry coming out from Wookibert. He may actually already have vision of this. He's already dropped a watchtower, or maybe just expecting it. We do see infantry being produced on the back lines here for Phoenix. Actually gone ahead and dropped down his armory as well, so probably going to be composite armor on the way. Triple watchtower defense here, trying desperately to hold off against this infantry swarm that's going to be coming forward inevitably here from Wookibert. Probably not going to want to engage into those three watchtowers, especially if Phoenix is able to get a command post down and get some AP ammo on the way. It doesn't look like he has that at the present time. And yeah, here comes the infantry army from Wookibert, and they're going to be coming forward. Looks like the watchtowers do not have AP ammo, and they're not going to be able to do too much against this infantry swarm here from Wookibert, and that's a lot of damage in the form of flame and rockets coming out from Wookibert, and this may actually be it for Phoenix. I don't quite know how he's going to stop this. Harvester's being pulled off the line, actually getting some pretty good crushes here. The rocket squad's getting crushed pretty heavily by these Predator tanks, as well as that one Harvester, but there's more and more rocket squads coming in from the south, and honestly, the economy advantage that Wookibert has right now, it's just absolutely insane. Phoenix, once again, not terribly happy with the way that one went, but Wookibert is up 3-0 in this best-of-7 series. So yeah, that's not much more to say to that. It's Black Hand for you. I mean, you get that lead early and you just absolutely crush forward. But honestly, I think if the game goes on much longer, if it goes into the late game and Phoenix is able to stay on a pretty equal economic footing, I think he'll be in a much better position to really do some serious damage to Wookibert. But I don't know, there's a lot of late game tech for Wookibert as well in the form of one-clicks and things like that. But anyways, that's going to be it for game number 3. So this is going to be match point here for Phoenix if he's not able to make something happen in game number 4. And that's going to be coming up momentarily, everybody, so be sure to stick around. Alright everybody, and welcome to game number 4 of this best of 7 final series, and that brings us to the map Twisted Rift. And spawned in the upper left corner as the orange black hand, we have Wookibert. And sliding on down to the bottom right corner as the orange, or rather red, vanilla GDI, we have Phoenix. I think I've got my colors mixed up here, let me just make sure. No, that's right, it just, maybe I'm colorblind, I'm not quite sure, but anyways, that aside, Wookibert, he's up 3-0 in this best of 7 series. He only needs to take away one more victory to secure himself a tournament victory here. So he's definitely going to be looking to close this one out, and it is going to be GDI versus Blackhand once again. So Phoenix has not been able to make this work in the last 3 games versus Wookibert, being punished with the same exact strategy each and every game. Wookibert, the question is he going to do the exact same thing this time around? It looks like he's not going to do that. It looks like he's going to be going for a more standard eco play here, maybe expecting Phoenix to react preemptively to try to stop this. And if that's a Predator tank coming out, then he has been successful in mind gaming him out of this. No, it is going to be a Harvester, so he hasn't bit into this one just yet, holding whatever it is being built next. But it doesn't look like Phoenix has necessarily bit the potential for that early game flame rush. Yeah, second refinery comes down, so Phoenix, he's going to be getting a free eco here, and it looks like Wookibert going to go for a little bit of bike buggy here, should be able to shut down the Pitbull, no problem. Actually, maybe losing his bike for the trouble, so trading a bike for a Pitbull, that's actually going to work out in Wookibert's favor, but that is a scout for Phoenix, so he does get a full scout on this base. He's going to be seeing what Wookibert's up to. His MCV around a little longer than I would have expected, drops his third power plant, and now he's going to go for the expand, maybe trying to fake Phoenix into thinking that he was going for that operations center, but not going to be the case. Fifth Harvester comes out for Phoenix, so it's looking like we're finally going to get to see a standard eco game here between these two guys, or at least early on going to be eco from these guys. But Wookibert, he's going for that expansion. Phoenix is going for that expansion as well. He's able to get a lot closer to his Tiberium field, so that's going to be a lot better for him, but we are going to be seeing a follow-up scout here from Phoenix. Should be able to roll into this base. Actually forces a sell-up of a power plant there from Wookibert. Interesting, wants to get rid of that squad, doesn't want to let it to run around in his base. It looks like it is going to be an operations center coming down from Wookibert. Could potentially be a war factory, but it is going to be a war factory coming out from Wookibert, so it's going to be double war factory here. Probably going to be bike buggy. He's looking to deal with the Harvester here from Phoenix. Doesn't want to allow that to get some free blue Tiberium, while Wookibert is grabbing some of that blue Tiberium for himself. So the Harvester's be trading a little bit of damage, but there is a Pitbull here from Phoenix as well. May actually signal Wookibert to actually cut and run a little bit earlier than he was hoping. He's going to stick around. It seems like he's content with hanging about with the support of the bikes on the backside of things. So Wookibert needs to be diligent about keeping those bikes microed. The Pitbull's a lot more tanky, but the Pitbulls will get traded out here by the bike buggy as time progresses, and it looks like both players got away with their blue Tiberium, but honestly, Wookibert, he's got a decent-sized bike buggy army here that could potentially out-trade Phoenix. Phoenix is doing a nice job. He's getting some damage on these bikes. He's not necessarily focusing down the Raider buggies, which is what you want to be seeing anyways. So very nice move there. The same, only a couple of Pitbulls out from Phoenix. He's actually going to start building some Predator tanks to try to hold the line here, but like they're actually... Oh, okay, so the Harvesters, they're in a little bit of a pickle here, as more than likely going to see the Pitbulls coming up to respond here for Phoenix. One harvester taking quite a bit of damage here. Could potentially be going down. I greatly doubt that this harvester is going to be able to survive. That one will go down, despite the effort from Phoenix to actually keep that alive. Predator tank here from Phoenix to try to hold things off, and he should be able to force the forces back here from Wookibert, force them to actually retreat. That will be the case. A couple of pitbulls just sitting on the outskirts, just trying to keep eyes on where that bike buggy is headed. Obviously, doesn't want to allow them to just run around the map freely. But refineries coming down from Wookibert pretty far back in comparison. I mean, you can see the travel distance just from the field here, as we do have a scout actually coming into this base. Whereas Phoenix, I mean, the travel time is considerably shorter, so he should be able to get that harvesting going a lot quicker than Wookibert. Wookibert, in the meantime, he's actually using his refineries to kind of base creep towards that green Tiberium. But all the same, it looks like a couple of Predator tanks just cleaning up some scouting units around the edges of the map here. We do have a scout in the middle of the map at the blue Tiberium as well, so Wookibert has eyes on the fact that there aren't any additional harvesters here. Like one pitbull actually getting focused down. I think that was the one that we saw running through the base here. Going to be getting quite a bit of scouting information, so Phoenix is going to be feeling pretty good about that. That's a worthwhile scout. Sometimes you got to spend some money to get some vision of what your opponent is doing, but that's a lot of bike buggy coming out from Wookibert. Wouldn't be shocked to just see straight up Predator tank spam here coming out from Phoenix in response. Predator tank's pretty good against bike buggy, but honestly it's going to be a matter of Wookibert just trying to keep those bikes alive. If he micros properly, he can trade with this small number of Predator tanks, but I think he's realized that the main force of Phoenix is actually out of position here to defend his base, and now there's only a couple of Predator tanks here from Phoenix to actually come in and try to do some damage. MCV's on the move. It's actually going to get targeted here, but one harvester will be going down for certain. That one goes down, and a couple of AP ammo APCs going to get focused down as well, so it looks like Phoenix trying to go for that AP ammo a little bit earlier. Predator tanks definitely out of position here, going to be trying to get back into range to actually do something, but going to be a couple more harvesters going down there, as we do see that one harvester essentially suiciding into that force, like he was on a rally point. But all the same, we are going to be seeing the bike buggy here from Wookibert trying to escape. The buggies on the front lines, though, they are going to be tanking the damage from those APMO APCs. Probably will be going down, but that's okay. It's not too much to worry about. That one Raider buggy may get just out of range before he goes down, so should be able to escape with his life, but it is a straight-up rocket, or rather infantry transition here from Wookibert. Again, not terribly surprising. He's made that infantry work really, really well in the last couple of games. We'll have to see if he does it again this time around. Wookibert doesn't have any tech to speak of. We did see the radar scan coming down on the expansion from Phoenix. No tech to speak of for Wookibert just yet. Probably the next thing that he's in the process of producing is he's not packing up that MCV. Tier 2 does come down for him. What else do we have coming out from Phoenix? Lost quite a bit in the way of economy here on his main field, but he is still back up and running. He's already packed up and gone for the expand, so the expand before any additional tech. He does have his tier 2 though, as we can see the laser fencing done on that operations center, or rather command post. And now we're seeing the infantry facing off against APC Pred tank, and it looks like the infantry has won out here. The APC is pretty heavily damaged. Predator tanks being focused down as they're trying to kite away. It looks like the APCs are actually going to re-engage into this. Probably going to go down, but should be able to take out the critical mass of infantry here. Actually, no, really good force firing here, or rather focus firing coming out from Wookibert. Be able to focus down all of those APCs, and actually a pretty devastating loss there for Phoenix. That's not the trade that he was really looking for. Meanwhile, we do have bikes coming in here from Wookibert, going to be taking out a harvester for their troubles and should be able to get away. Only a couple of bikes going down there by the looks of it. Another Raider buggy going to be going down as well. Harvester coming from the blue Tiberian field should be able to get away. A Hammerhead could potentially be going down here to the bike buggy. He is going to go ahead and give chase. It looks like he wants to just take out as much as he can. Takes out one bike, but does go down. Harvester coming back from the blue Tiberium manages to clean up a lot of that blue Tiberium, actually. That was good on him to grab that while he could, because now Wookibert is moving through the middle of the map here with a decent number of infantry and should be rolling into the original main base of Phoenix. We do have a Tiberium Catalyst missile going to be coming in. Phoenix actually quick enough to sell up that refinery before it goes down. Does lose a harvester though, so that's going to be a pretty critical loss. Unfortunately, now we'll have to replace that refinery as well. Just unfortunate to have to deal with. Looks like the Tiberium chemical plant being left around, maybe to use the tip vein detonation. We'll have to see if that's going to be coming out. anytime soon. It doesn't look like it's been used yet. Could potentially use it on this field here and just do quite a bit of damage to those harvesters and then follow up with some bike buggy, but looks like APC is going to be trying to thin the herd here for Phoenix, as we do see Wookiberts continuing to press forward. It looks like he's actually going to turn and head to the top of the map. May actually try to take out this Tiberium Spike. That would actually be a pretty good pickup at this point in the game. Just eliminate that late game economy option from Phoenix. Yeah, and it looks like that's where he's headed. He may be going to the expansion, but honestly he should stop by and kill off that Tiberium Spike. Meanwhile, what's going on in the base of Wookibert? He's already got his tech. He's got full tech right now. He's just built his Redeemer engineering facility. That Redeemer is on the way. A couple of bikes rolling through here for Wookibert. He actually has some bike buggy. Going to be trying to deal with these hammerheads. Should actually be able to cut off the production here. He's able to camp this out. Actually, no, AP ammo hammerhead's very, very good apparently against buggies when they have repairs. So not too bad. Wookibert does clean up the Tiberium Spike of Phoenix. That's looking pretty good as well. Now we do have the MCV sell-up coming in from Phoenix. Tiberium Vein Detonation coming in from Wookibert. This could be devastating. I mean, that's one refinery going down. We do have the infantry swarm here coming in from Wookibert. Going to be able to clean up the remainder of this base, I think. Going by a couple of bikes. All of those harvesters are now just free kills for Wookibert, and this could potentially be it. Marv is done for Phoenix, so he's not out of this game just yet. More than likely sold up his MCV just to get his Marv out, but going to be a little bit disappointed to hear that there is a Redeemer that's going to pop any moment. There it is. It pops out as we speak. Harvester still pulled off the line here for Phoenix. He's lost all of his harvesting, all of his refineries, and all of his harvesters are dead. And that Marv is really the only saving grace for him at this point in time. A couple of engineers out on the map, more than likely going to be garrisoned into that Marv. Is really the only sticking point here for Phoenix. He's going to be relying on that to get himself back into this game. He needs to get down there and start harvesting out this greenfield in order to get some economy to build another refinery, but he is so far behind that once this Redeemer just rolls up into that expansion, he should be able to crush that base before Phoenix is able to get enough economy to really get himself back into the game. Meanwhile, Wookibert's completely exhausted all of his expansions and needs to go for another expansion here. Has already sent his MCV down to the south. Redrafting some Shredder turrets, wants to get eyes on where that Marv is, probably realizing that that's Phoenix's last hope here. Be rolling into the base here. No, Phoenix is actually sending it up to the north, so I think he wants to get in here. Actually, surprisingly enough, Phoenix had enough money to build a refinery straight up and has 3 harvesters. Where did they come from? He must have built harvesters after he built the Marv, but they're all going to go down, and that's a devastating loss here for Phoenix. That's a lot of harvesters going down. Honestly, the TIB Catalyst Missile should be coming off a cooldown pretty soon, provided that the... no, actually, the TIB Chem Plant is gone, so looks like Wookibert was fine with just 1 rotation of 1 clicks this time around. Looks like Wookibert is going to go ahead and give chase to this MCV, but meanwhile we do have the Marv coming forward from Phoenix. Should be able to get crushes on all these harvesters. Wow, that's massive. He gets 3 harvester crushes, should be able to get another harvester kill as well, and he's gotten quite a bit of that Tiberium, so he's definitely still in this game. The MCV is on the run. I'm not sure where it ended up. It is still alive. He's going to go ahead and cut and run and maybe just try to kite this thing out and just try to stay alive in this game with the Marv. But honestly, once I have to imagine that EMP Coils is on the way here for Wookibert. I think that was actually what just popped. He sells up his tech lab. Yeah, EMP Coils is done. That's exactly what you need to see in this situation. Decent number of Raider buggies out on the map already, so Wookibert knows what needs to be done in this situation. The Marv is the only saving grace here for Phoenix. Phoenix not willing to give this one up just yet. We do have a couple of bikes here up in the top of the map. Where is that MCV? MCV is still kiting around here. Oh, but this is just so devastating. Once these Raider buggies get into range, EMP is going to go off. Actually, the EMP did not actually go off. The Marv is still alive, but now the continual EMP coming out from Wookibert is going to be able to focus this Marv down, and as we can see, more and more repeat EMPs coming in. The Raider buggy is coming in from the back line. Infantry is focusing this guy down. The Marv is just being melted away here. It's got a lot of armor and it's got a lot of repair in the way of the engineers, but Phoenix going to throw it in. Wookibert going to be taking a victory here in this game, in this series, and in the tournament. So Wookibert dispatching Phoenix 4-0 in this series and going to be claiming himself the first place position here in the community 1 versus 1 tournament here for July of 2015. So congratulations to Wookibert. Phoenix, despite his best efforts here and actually looking to be very much on point throughout the course of the day, not able to stand up to the black hand of Wookibert. So very, very good games out of both of these players. Actually, Phoenix, I was going to say the unit kill-death ratio is looking to be in Phoenix's favor, but that's just due to the fact that Wookibert was spamming infantry, so that's not as easily rectified in terms of the damage calculations. But anyways, with that said, Wookibert going to be claiming himself a tournament victory, going to be able to grab himself some winner circle points there. And anyways, yeah, it was just a fun tournament. You know, there wasn't a huge turnout, but we had some good games all the same, and it's nice to see Wookibert back. Phoenix obviously doing well. I think he's been doing actually extremely well. He's been performing and getting into the finals of almost every tournament that's been had in recent weeks, or rather recent months. He's definitely a contender to be up there with pretty much anybody on the list, so not shocking to see him in finals at any point in time. So very nice to see that. Wookibert going to be taking place number 1. Phoenix going to be following up in 2nd place, and then I'm not sure if the 3rd place match was played. From what I could tell from Aggressive Panda, it looks like it was not played. I think Death Sentence actually went offline, or it may have been Lion Co. I'm not quite sure, but all the same, that's your 1 and 2 position here for today, and that's going to be wrapping things up for me. It was a pretty good set of games here today. This is actually my 2nd tournament of the weekend, so I'll be feeling a little bit fatigued after this one, but was a pretty quick one in comparison to what we normally see. It was about 3 hours and 45 minutes that we've got on the clock right now. Most of our tournaments run about 5.5 hours or so. So pretty quick, all things said and done. But with that said, again, congratulations goes out to Wookibert for coming through with a 1st place victory. Another congratulations goes out to Phoenix for taking 2nd place. Kind of difficult to see him being dispatched 4-0 in that series, but all the same, put up a good effort, put on a good show for those of us that enjoy the GDI faction. With that said, thank you all very much for joining me here for the cast today, and thanks again to the Game Replay staff that were here running the tournament. I know Toxic Shock was doing the majority of the work today, as I think Phantom was unable to join us here, and I know Unknown's been kicking around as well. So Aggressive Panda, big shout out to him. He's been casting alongside of me here today. He also played a little bit earlier, but unfortunately was dispatched earlier in the tournament. I think it was in the round of 16. But yeah, thank you everybody for doing the hard work that we had here for today for this event to go through very well, and thank you all for watching. We're sitting at 53 people. Let's see what we had for a high during the day. Looks like we reached about a peak of 68 people, which is pretty cool. I can't complain. I mean, it was a smaller tournament, not a huge number of big names, but pretty good turnout as far as viewer count goes, particularly because we're here on YouTube. But all the same, that's going to be wrapping things up for me, everybody. I hope you guys all enjoyed the tournament and the cast, and I will catch you all next time.